Tonight in Miami, you're looking at a live shot of the Orange Bowl from the Goodyear Blimp Enterprise. A sellout crowd of 75,000 plus expected to be on hand for the defending NFC champion Philadelphia Eagles against the Miami Dolphins on ABC's NFL Monday Night Football. This ABC Sports exclusive is being brought to you by Chevrolet and your Chevrolet dealer, who invites you to see the new Chevrolet S10 truck, and by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer.
It's a dogfight now for playoff berths in the NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys have clinched a playoff position, but the Eagles are suddenly troubled. Why? They were punished a week ago unexpectedly by the Giants. They've got a tough schedule ahead of them. It's a must game for them tonight. But what about the AFC East? The Jets a half game ahead of both Miami and Buffalo. Miami, in the wake of its loss to the Jets a week ago, may be suffering from a hangover. Critical game for the Dolphins. They know it. Here's the gift.
And while it would not be final, Philadelphia, of course, in deep trouble with the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East, as you look at Ron Jaworski, not having the superb year that he had last year, but his numbers quite impressive. The Eagles coming off a loss to the New York Giants. As we look at David Woodley, the counterpart for Ron Jaworski, the youngster now in his second year. And there has been some question over the past few weeks. He has been not too productive as the offensive unit for the Miami Dolphins have staggered and reeled there in the closing days. But they are alive, both teams alive in their respective divisions.
That's the thing you kind of expect from a guy like Woodley, Frank, that he comes in, he's going to have some hot ones, and he's going to have some cold ones. Coach Shula thinks that he's his quarterback of the future. He likes Strock. I guess he thought Strock just got so good at being a backup quarterback, he's going to keep him there because he let Woodley slide in right there in front of him. But he has had some hot and cold nights. He's going to need a hot one tonight because Philadelphia is, I think, one of the most balanced defenses in the league.
And well coached. If you follow this game at all, you know that. Dick Vermeil, the youngster in the NFL, against the veteran Don Shula. As you can see, the Miami Dolphins will kick off. It'll be Wilbert Montgomery. Wally Henry has dropped deep in the end zone, expecting a big kick from Montgomery. And it will be Wally Henry from the end zone. Bobbles the ball, and he should stay in. He does. It'll be a touchback, and they'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. And here is Ron Jaworski on the year, a little over 56%. He's had 18 touchdown passes, 12 interceptions. That matches the figure of a year ago. The Eagles, well, quite frankly, once you go to that Super Bowl, as they did last year, losing to Oakland, well, everyone shoots at you. That's what Ron Jaworski says about the club. They're playing us different this year. They're playing us tougher. Indeed, they are. First down 10, Philadelphia up to the line of scrimmage. The setbacks. Hubert Oliver, the rookie from Arizona, 34, and the incomparable Wilbert Montgomery, number 31. Charles Smith in motion for the Eagles. Montgomery, he handles the ball over 30% of the time, and he is hit hard by A.J. Dewey. Give him a yard. It'll be second down and 9.
The last time we were here, A.J. Dewey played maybe one of the better ball games that I've ever seen against the Pittsburgh Steelers, and he was everywhere. We talked about Dewey all night. It seemed like the A.J. Dewey show. But once again, he started off right position. Met Wilbert Montgomery right head on. Didn't pick up much.
It's an old story. A.J. Dewey moved from defensive end last year to linebacker. He is just learning the ropes there. Jaworski looks over a second down and 9. Oliver, the rookie from Arizona, out over the 25-yard line. It'll be third down and 4. Hubert Oliver, who actually got that job at fullback, you could say, through attrition. The Eagles lost running back Perry Harrington. They lost Leroy Harris. They lost Louis Giamona. They lost Steve Atkins. And you have Hubert Oliver making his 8th start of the season. As Dick Vermeil has juggled this team that has 16 free agents. 11 Eagles tonight in uniform were not in uniform in the Super Bowl of a year ago. That's remarkable. Third down and 4. Out of the shotgun. Jaworski can get the first down easily. And Jaworski to midfield before he's taken by Glenn Blackwood. First down, Philadelphia. They're in Miami territory.
Terrific move by Jaworski. They really had his guys covered, but they left the middle wide open. Steps up, you'll watch him from the shotgun position. Only rushed the 3 guys. Good blocking in there. Moves up in the pocket. Nobody's there, and he just takes off. He says, wait a minute, this is more open yardage than he's seen in a long time. I bet that's the longest run he's had all year.
And not to deprecate his athletic skills, when Ron Jaworski can run 26 yards against you, you're in trouble. First down 10. The ball inside the 49-yard line of the Miami Dolphins. Play action to Montgomery. Jaworski comes back and hits Montgomery. He breaks a tackle. He's inside the 35 to the 34-yard line. Again, Glenn Blackwood on the stop.
Early in the year, Miami appeared to have a fine young defensive team. It hasn't proved out that way. It's become sieve-like. Examples, the 2 cornerbacks, so highly regarded. McNeil and Small, between them, don't have a single interception this year. And the other teams have been taking advantage of the fact. We just saw that replay. Montgomery, of course, one of the all-purpose great players in the league.
He's over 1,000 yards rushing. That's his 40th reception of the season. He is the workhorse. Montgomery now split out to the left. Wilbert again from the flanker spot. Collects the ball out in front of the cornerbacks that Howard spoke of a moment ago, Gerald Small. The cornerbacks being Don McNeil and Small. To elaborate just a bit on that, Howard, this time a year ago, the cornerbacks for the Dolphins had 9 interceptions between them. And you're exactly right. They have goose eggs in that column thus far through 12 games.
Don Shula on his show over the weekend, he has a weekly show, said that players of that ability simply have to start producing.
Second down, a little less than 3 yards to go for the first. Montgomery again split wide to the left. Jaworski. Oliver does not hold on. Incomplete. It'll be third down, less than 3.
I might note that it's been a very difficult week for Shula in the wake of that painful loss to the Jets. As you look at Don, great a coach as he's been, he's suddenly being subjected to all kinds of second guesses. Personally, because of his character and strength, he's up to it. But he's being particularly criticized for not putting the rush on Richard Todd in the final 2 minutes of last week's loss to the Jets, when Todd, with the bruised ribs and the bad ankle, still faced only a 3-4 defense in 9 of the last 11 plays.
Third down, less than 3 from the shotgun. Jaworski bobbles it, finds it, fires out. It's complete to Campfield, and Campfield has the first down. He's inside the 20-yard line, hit by Glenn Blackwood. It is Billy Campfield, a very versatile performer and a fine receiver coming out of the backfield, picking up the first down for the Eagles.
He's going to be one-on-one on Ernie Rome, number 55. Got the snap, fumbled a little bit, but picked it up, got out in front. Campfield got it. Lyle Blackwood comes on. We'll get confused. We got Lyle and Glenn back. That was Glenn, the brothers. You know, last time we were down here, I was talking about the Blackwood boys. One of them was out of football the last time we did a game down here with Pittsburgh. Now they're both playing safety for the Miami Dolphins. Glenn and Lyle Blackwood.
19-yard line of Miami. The Eagles have used over 4 minutes on the clock. Their first possession, here's Hubert Oliver. And the rookie from Arizona powers over the left side behind Stan Walters into the arms of Vern Den Herder. And he gets a nice pickup. Give him 6. It'll be second down and 4.
Dandy mentioned that the Eagles have as balanced a defense perhaps as there is in the league. They also have one of the better offensive lines in the league. Indeed, the respective lines, offense and defense, represent their continuity of strength apart from the offensive triangle of Jaworski, Carmichael, and Montgomery.
That's Carmichael, the tall one, 6'8", split to the left, to the top of your screen. On second and 4, Montgomery, right side, and Montgomery, who carries 195 pounds, like 220, is short of a first down by about a yard.
Talk about their offensive and defensive lines, their whole unit. I think the Eagles may have the best 22-man squad in football. I don't think they're particularly deep. So what they've been fighting with, they've had some injuries off and on during the year, been able to come back. If you get much beyond that those first 2 units, I think they're a little bit light.
Booker Russell, number 32, is in there with Wilbert Montgomery. Russell is a 235-pound setback. Third down and 1. Jaworski. Turn, took it back over the slot, gets the first down near the 7-yard line.
Good play there. Shot the gap, faked a little handoff to his backs. Let the line play develop a little bit, picked his hole, picked him up first down.
An impressive drive, Frank, sparked by, of course, that long run by Jaworski when there was no receiver to throw to, and he had that wide space up the middle.
And we have gone more than 5 minutes now with the Eagles in possession following the touchback. They have a first down goal to go. Montgomery left side, and Montgomery just surges for about a yard and a half.
Interesting, in a talk I had with Joe Thomas, who knows personnel about as well as anybody in this business, now with the Dolphins, a team which, by the way, he helped form originally under Joe Robbie. He was saying, he was talking about runners who go straight north and south, which has become a common term, as you know, this year, as if it's a new discovery. And he was talking about susceptibility to injury. And he pointed out Montgomery and Rogers. Here's Frank.
It is second down, goal to go. They have marked it at the 3-yard line. Montgomery, right side. Montgomery down close to the goal line, but he does not get in. It is Larry Gordon.
Now, Wilbert, as you know, Frank, has been hurt often. You look at that remarkable record there, and he says that he thinks George Rogers' durability may be suspect. Oddly, in singling out the kind of runner for whom he predicts a durable future, because he calls him a skittery runner, whom you really never get a grip on, he took the rookie Freeman McNeil with the Jets, who had a good day yesterday.
And also big and strong. It is third down, goal to go, and Philadelphia is wiping out the first quarter clock. 7:33 remaining. Montgomery, 6 points, Philadelphia. Flawless drive, a touchback. They took it 80 yards, no penalties. They moved it in the air. They moved it on the ground.
They did look awfully tough that time, didn't they? They tried a lot of different things. The run, the pass. Didn't go to Carmichael, who's been their big scoring weapon off and on through the years. But Montgomery is their bread and butter guy. They call him the slasher, and he
does.
Well, he does, but I think what you're talking about, Howard, he really doesn't dodge too much. He goes ahead and hits them head on, and that does cause those injuries.
Big play of the drive, a 26-yard pickup by, of all people, Ron Jaworski. Franklin for the conversion, and Tony puts it. The Eagles playing football reminiscent of the old days. Moved it on the ground, they moved it on the air. They used over half of the first quarter, putting up their first touchdown. Tony Franklin to kick off. The rookie Fulton Walker is deep. This is Walker. And Walker works his way out to the 25-yard line, just over it. It'll be first down and 10 for Miami. And here is young David Woodley, passing at a little over 53% this year. 10 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. His problem, in the last 6 quarters, he's produced 1 touchdown. And last week against the Jets, only 41 yards in the air, and there has to start being some questions. At the 26-yard line, the Dolphins. An offensive team that could have perhaps even stiffened up after their workout as they watched the Eagles use over 7.5 minutes. Tony Nathan, a very versatile one, out of the 30-yard line to the 31 for a gain of about 6. It'll be second down and 4.
That was an effective gain. Looked like he was stopped with maybe 1 or 2 yards. Managed to get 6 out of it. So they're well positioned for the first down.
You saw the defensive unit quickly of the Eagles. They're in trouble over the left side. John Bunting, their 10-year veteran linebacker, has a bad knee. He will not play tonight. Claude Humphrey, a good pass rushing veteran is on injured reserve. Both of them hurt against the Giants. Second down and 4. Woodley back looking. Fires incomplete. That one could have been picked off. It was not. Ronnie Lee, the tight end, did not hold on.
You used the phrase, both of them hurt against the Giants, as you talked about the respective conditions of Bunting and Humphrey. The Giants didn't just beat the Eagles last week. They punished them physically. It was total domination by that Giant team. And it's why it's so surprising to see the way Philadelphia came off that punishment with tonight's opening drive.
A well-disciplined ball club. They are well coached. They are well put together. Marion Campbell in charge of the defense, and of course Dick Vermeil, the young head coach, in charge of the overall operation. Woodley has a man wide open, and it's Darial Harris, and Darial Harris is inside Philadelphia territory with the first down for Miami.
Darial Harris, as Don knows, became a principal figure in Miami this week. He did a television interview as we look at the replay in ground level with a local TV announcer and openly criticized his coach, Don Shula. You saw him all alone there, for not seeking, as he put it, to exploit Johnny Lynn, the Jets cornerback, in the final minutes of the game. Shula pointed out that Woodley had sought to exploit Lynn, but was sacked twice in the process.
First down 10, 48-yard line of the Eagles. Philadelphia on top, 7-0. Andre Franklin, a rookie from Nebraska, and he is hammered right at the line of scrimmage. Charlie Johnson leading in the way for the Eagles, the big nose tackle.
You know, Carl Harrison closed down pretty quick from that defensive end position, too, the right end.
Franklin has a chance, doesn't he, Frank, to break Kick's rookie rushing record tonight?
Sure does. He came into tonight 557 yards on the season. Jim Kick set that record in 1968 with 621 yards. Second down and 9. Woodley. Trying to go to Harris after being chased out of the pocket. Blitzing linebacker was Frank LeMaster. Thursday night, we move on into Houston.
Going down to Houston.
Houston and the Cleveland Browns.
Houston.
Best we can say, they are not mathematically eliminated in this computer year of determining the playoff positions.
Next Monday, Pittsburgh against Oakland. Pittsburgh, clearly a resurgent team. And Oakland, in and out, erratic, but capable of beating anybody. I look forward to that
Mark
contest.
Wilson, the quarterback now. The Oakland Raiders. How about Franco Harris's day yesterday? Third down and 9. Ball inside the 42-yard line of Philadelphia. Woodley in trouble, and down goes Woodley in the arms of Carl Hairston. The Eagles, you watch this defensive team, and there probably is no better coordinated defensive unit in football today. They do not have the great names, and of course they are great names. I wouldn't want to belittle them, and the big names indeed, but they are not the superstar names. They just play so well together.
Frank, you got a new Jeff Tays is a new left guard in there. He's replaced Kuchenberg, who's injured, and you got Dwight Stevenson, who's the center. That time they did a little stunt or a trick on that defensive line. They didn't pick Harrison up when he came back around through the middle.
We saw Wally Henry deep for the Eagles on fourth down. Tom Orose, the rookie from Ohio State, two-step punter, hangs it high, and Wally Henry indicates the fair catch at the 18-yard line. Makes it successful, and the Eagles will have their second possession, and we have only 4:59 remaining in the first. Our cameraman, Bill Sullivan, with our video technician, Lee Burton, cruising around with Captain Mike Fitzpatrick in the Goodyear Blimp Enterprise, and I said it was a beautiful night in Miami. It's been a beautiful day in Miami. Temperature at kickoff, 75 degrees, no wind to speak of, cloudless sky, and two football teams both battling to stay abreast of teams within their division in first place. Miami to stay with the Jets, and Philadelphia the Dallas Cowboys. On first and 10, Jaworski out to the flat to Wally Henry.
I think you read that one, didn't
Good
you?
defensive play, Don McNeil. There will be a loss. Back inside the 10-yard line.
Very alert play by McNeil. He read that little quick screen, moved himself into position where they really had to deal with it. The first blocker he had out there, and he couldn't get away.
McNeil missed a few games earlier in the season. He had a pulled hamstring. He's playing now back to form. First round draft pick of the year ago out of Alabama. A loss of about 3 yards. Call it second down 13. Smith, 85. The speedy wide receiver. Split to the right. That's Carmichael, top of your screen. Jaworski again on the hoof. This time, Jaworski is buried at the 20-yard line by Glenn Blackwood. Once again, he gets back to the line of scrimmage and picks up a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
But not the big gainer that sparked the initial drive for the touchdown.
Don Jaworski came, of course, from the Rams, celebrated trade in '77, and has turned into a disciplined quarterback. He used to put the ball in the air and get a lot of interceptions. He doesn't do that anymore, and hasn't for the past 3 years. Now he's out of the shotgun on 3rd and 8. Wally Henry split to the left. Eagles hurting at wide receiver. Jaworski over the middle. Billy Campfield incomplete.
It was a marvelous pickup.
It was.
One that must have been appreciated by Yankee catcher Rick Cerrone, who's here tonight, now living in Fort Lauderdale. Getting closer and closer to Steinbrenner, who lives in Tampa.
Sounds good to me. Nice looking kid. I enjoyed meeting him. End zone look. Jaworski comes back, got some time to throw, tries to drill. That was a catchable ball. Campfield just let that one get away from him.
Max Runniger will kick for Philadelphia. Tommy Vigorito, a rookie from Virginia, who provided fireworks for us here in the first week of the season. And they returned to punt against the Pittsburgh Steelers for a touchdown. This off the side of Runniger's foot. And this a very poor kick that will be marked inside of Philadelphia territory. They're going to mark it inside the 46-yard line, and Miami will have excellent field position.
Vigorito didn't have a chance to play that wahoo ball that time. Kicked away from him.
Don Shula with the final word for David Whitley as he trots back out onto the field, and we'll be back in the Orange Bowl in a moment. Punter Max Runniger had a ball go off the side of his foot. Net gain 25 yards. First down 10 to the Miami Dolphins inside Philadelphia's 46-yard line. The Dolphins trailing 7-0, 3:06 remaining in the first quarter, and the Dolphins come up and look over the #1 defense in the NFL. The Eagles 3rd against the rush, 3rd against the pass in their conference. They are very stingy. Whitney, Darial Harris. Harris taken there by Roynell Young after a gain of 7.
That's a good play. It's kind of a play of a if you're going to have a bootleg sort of play, but Darial Harris is the guy that really is kind of a game breaker for him. A little quick screen out to the right side. They didn't really try to get an offensive lineman out in front of him. They're going to let him do it alone. I would guess they read the defense and were pretty well convinced it was not going to be a zone or a flip over his side. So he had one-on-one. Picked up a nice game.
2nd down and 3. Bruce Hardy, Ron Lee, the 2 tight ends for Miami. Andre Franklin, the single setback. This is Franklin. Franklin taken on a nice tackle there by LeMaster, the veteran from Kentucky.
Nobody blocked LeMaster. He read the play very well. Came in from that inside linebacking position. Picked his spot. Didn't let Franklin get back to the line of scrimmage.
They have superb linebackers. LeMaster, Chesley, Jerry Robinson, whom we've talked about so often. Normally John Bunting, who normally calls the defensive signals. But they don't lose that much when Reggie Wilkes comes in, because he's a beauty.
And he is now also calling the defensive signals he gets from defensive coach Marion Campbell. 3rd and 3, Whitley on the option, and the man was not there.
That was strange.
It was Tony Nathan who was moving far ahead of Whitley, and now there's a late flag that has been dropped at the line of scrimmage.
Frank, I don't think they had enough men on the field. That was a strange situation there.
Well, I guess you can play it with as few as you want, but it's not terribly effective.
Illegal procedure. Man coming off the bench against the offense. Penalty is declined. It's 4th down.
They were trying to get them all together.
I'm telling you, that was really strange. That's I guess it's we give Shula a lot of credit. We give him a lot of responsibility. But I mean, if you can't get the right guys out there on the field, somebody ain't paying attention.
Exactly why I brought up earlier the kind of fire this great coach has been under the past week.
Burrows, the rookie from Ohio State. There he is. He will be punting. Wally Henry will be guessing with him. Positioned himself for Philadelphia inside his own 10-yard line. Burrows looking to the sideline to his left. And he has put Wally Henry in quite a hole, and now the ball bounds into the end zone. It'll be a touchback, and just barely.
Good decision by Wally Henry. How about that one? That's playing it close to the chest.
Pretty lucky.
Heart leaped right into his throat because that ball looked like it was going to take a very definite Miami
Starlight,
bounce.
star bright. First star I see tonight. Wish I may, wish
We'll be
I
back.
might.
It'll be the Eagles' ball at their 20-yard line.
Yeah.
Capacity crowd, 75,000 plus. Blackout lifted in the Miami area. And some other artistic fans involved. Banners streaming all over the colorful old Orange Bowl. As Philadelphia moves up to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They lead 7-0, 1:56 remaining in the first quarter. Smith in motion. This is Montgomery. Dan Walters with a block out front. But Montgomery is collared there by Larry Gordon after a pickup of about 4 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
There's the crowd Frank was talking about. And in the call of a game, you throw away a name like Stan Wallers. But there's an all-pro. You can't exaggerate in any sense his value to the Eagles. I remember when Al Ward was briefly general manager of the Jets. Tried his darndest to get Stan Wallers. Failed. Philadelphia got him instead from Cincinnati. Great player.
2nd down and 6. Jaworski to the big one. Carmichael, he has the ball out over the 35-yard line for a Philadelphia 1st down.
That's the offensive triangle. Jaworski, Carmichael, Montgomery.
I'll tell you, Carmichael is 6'8". The cornerbacks for the Dolphins, Small is 5'11". McNeil is 6 feet. That's giving up a lot of height.
He, in a way, is kind of what Bobby Hayes was to Dallas in the early years. The defense has to reckon with a guy like Carmichael. He's got the height. He's got some good moves. He's proved to be durable. And Bobby Hayes, with his speed, changed defenses a lot there in Dallas.
That was Carmichael's 48th reception of the year. This is Montgomery. Nifty little shift of gears there. He gets away from an Eagles tackler that could have caused a loss. He gets 3 yards. Instead, it'll be 2nd down and 7, and we are heading into the final seconds of the first quarter.
Vermeil should be counted as some kind of genius, though. He really gets the most out of that team. The absolute most.
Not only in terms of skill, but also Jaworski on the night directed a absolutely superb 80-yard drive. The Eagles' very first possession. That's the way we stand as we begin the second quarter. 7-0 Philadelphia. 2nd down and 7. The ball at the 39-yard line of the Eagles. Jaworski pressured out of the pocket by A.J. Dewey, and this time throws it in the ground as Don McNeil was there covering the intended receiver, Wilbert Montgomery.
Here are the stats for the first quarter. Complete domination, as you can see, by Philadelphia. In that vein, let me say, time of possession overwhelmingly Philadelphia. In that vein, let me say, the NFC coming into this contest leads the AFC this year, the AFC East, 10-3. This is the year of the comeback of the NFC, which leads overall 22-19. But Miami has never lost in the Orange Bowl to an NFC team.
3rd down 7 from the shotgun, the Eagles. Jaworski swarmed over by Glenn Blackwood on the safety blitz, and Jaworski is down with a 6-yard loss. It'll be 4th down.
I think that was a little defensive change from maybe what Philadelphia has been seeing. I don't think he expected Blackwood to come in. They look at it from the other side. You see Blackwood come in from the left side of the screen, the bottom of the screen. No one was there to block him. Moved up, made a good move, came back down. They just didn't have anybody there to block. He only had one receiver out, and he was covered pretty well.
You're right. It was a little bit of a change. You usually see Larry Gordon blitzing from the other side.
You had a quick look at Tommy Vigorito, and a big booming punt by Runniger. Takes Vigorito to his 23-yard line. And Vigorito with a nice return over the 40-yard line.
Wahoo football out of the University of Virginia. Vigorito's been a big plus down here. Fans love him. He does a good job at bringing that ball back. Tom Vicarito.
Averaging over 12.5 yards now per punt return, and he gets Miami good field position. We'll be back in the Orange Bowl in a moment. Talking about peculiarities of the Miami team here in the Orange Bowl, they have won 35 games and lost but one when the crowd has been 65,000 plus. They like their hometown crowd, and they've got a crowd of 75,000 plus tonight. They have a 1st and 10, the Dolphins, at their own 41-yard line. Just underway here in the second quarter, and the Dolphins trail 7-0. Woodley going deep. Darial Harris is in a full sprint. Right back with him, Herman Edwards.
Edwards had him covered really well. He didn't get behind him. Crowd's booing a little bit because they made some contact.
Harris looking for an interference call, but not getting.
Well, as we've said many times, Edwards, well, there was a little bump right there, as a matter of fact. Couldn't see that one from where we are. But as we've said many times, the defensive back also has a right to go for that ball. But that line looked like he bumped him a little bit.
In the old days, pre-77, new rules and all, you would have called that a great defensive play.
Well,
new rules? Well, I was surprised there was not a flag. 2nd down and 10. Woodley again. Wide open is Ronnie Lee, and Ronnie Lee quickly covered at the 45-yard line.
that's a good 1st down play because you're going to pick up 4 or 5 yards. Got a little anxious there with LeMaster as he's trying to get untangled from that pile. But now it's still a 3rd down and a long 6 yards from it. This is just to build up your passing percentage completion. You're not going to make much yardage right there. He's pretty well covered. Little slip, slides, ball on in there. No place to go.
Saw Jerry Robinson at the bottom of that pile. He did not play against the Giants a week ago. He has a full groin muscle, but he is out there tonight. Critical game for both teams as Woodley looks over a 3rd down and 5. Woodley coming out of the backfield is Tony Nathan, and Nathan has the 1st down, and he's down to the 40-yard line of the Eagles.
Terrific pattern that time. He flooded his zone, set several guys, a couple of guys deep, sent one guy out wide real quick, let Nathan come out of the backfield, be kind of a trail back. We'll look at it from a ground level look. Usually always starts out. You see Nathan, number 22, came out, went out to the outside. They cleared out that zone. That was Cephalo, 81, that had gone deep. Nathan had some room to run in there.
Nathan is the kind of football player that Don Shula likes to have around. Reminiscent of Jim Kick. They can run out of the backfield. They can go outside, inside, good receiver. And that's what Nathan is. A very versatile player. On 1st and 10. Woodley going for Harris. The coverage provided by Herman Edwards once again.
Ball was going up when it went over. Harris might have been just as well because it was well covered by Edwards.
This is the 2nd major opportunity Miami has had. The earlier one created by the short half-shank punt by Runnigan. Miami couldn't capitalize. Option pass play as bad as you've ever seen. You could take that ball and shove it.
Cephalo and Harris split far to the left. And this is Tony Nathan, and the Eagles were not fooled on 2nd down and 10 as Nathan scrambles for about 2.5 to 3 yards. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Reggie Wilkes doing a fine job in there for the injured John Bunting in on the tackle.
Charlie Johnson does a good job, too, in the middle. You don't see him go into that middle too often against Philadelphia's defense, and I think a lot of it is those great linebacker play they have, but Charlie Johnson does a pretty good job of neutralizing that center.
Joe Rose, number 80. There he is, the tight end with the good hands, is in for Miami. Tommy Vigarito is in. Woodley, this is Darial Harris, and he comes down with the football that was hung up there on a hurried pass by Woodley.
That was a lucky completion because he had a good pressure, and I think he just threw that one up. Harris happened to be there.
Well, it really did hang up there. The hang time made the play almost unbelievable. Watch it.
Pretty good pressure at the line of scrimmage by Roynell Young. Released him deep to the safety back. He was That ball didn't hang up there for a while, didn't it?
Forever.
Richard Blackmore was a young fellow who came in and made the drop.
And you better believe Harris knew he was going to get popped. Anytime it hangs that long, you are in deep trouble. Inside the 18-yard line of Philadelphia. First down, 10 Miami. And slipping to the turf is Andra Franklin, a rookie from Nebraska. Tried to break it off to the outside. He was covered immediately by Carl Hairston. There is a loss of 3 yards. Ooh. And now we will see Bruce Hardy coming in as the tight ends are being constantly shuffled.
They got a guy
And
down.
there is a Philadelphia Eagle down on the turf at the 20-yard line. There he is, number 78. That's Carl Hairston. And they're looking at the left leg of Carl Hairston. The medical staff of the Eagles on the field. We'll have a report when we come back. Carl Hairston, the 6-year veteran and a good defensive end, will be up on his feet. Carl Hairston. We looked at his right leg. We'll take a look with a reverse angle and see if we can see exactly what happened to Hairston. That's Franklin slipping, and here comes Hairston. He too slips, but he's right in the path of Franklin. Hairston has a lot of troubles with leg cramps. We've seen him down more than you will see many football players down. I would suspect that we'll see him back in the lineup.
He's done it every game so far.
There was a loss of 3 yards. Make it 4. It'll be second down and 14. 11:28 remaining in the first half. The Eagles lead 7-0. They took the very first possession of the game and drove 80 yards with a big play coming from quarterback Ron Jaworski, a 26-yard scramble. Second and 14. Eddie Hill, a setback now for the Dolphins, number 31. Cephalo in motion. Woodley chased out of the pocket. Woodley, that other dimension, the running quarterback. Woodley, first down, 10-yard line of the Eagles, and this is the added dimension that David Woodley has brought to the Dolphins. He is a fine athlete and a gifted runner, as you can see.
Watch him turn it on. He gets a little pressure from the inside, makes a move to the outside, takes a quick look. Now he turns it on. He's got some pretty good speed. Quarterbacks don't run like that.
That was Leonard Mitchell, the rookie, number 1 draft pick, who charged hard into the inside. He had no one outside helping him. Woodley saw it instantly, turned on the speed. First down, goal to go Miami. A pickup of 16 yards. Three tight ends are in. Lee, Hardy, and Rose. Tony Nathan, and Nathan pounding down close to the 2-yard line. It'll be second down, goal to go.
What you have to remember about Miami and Shula is they have been notably successful against the NFC. Earlier I noted they have won 7 games consecutively in the Orange Bowl against NFC teams. I think I mentioned that they've never been beaten here by an NFC team. That is not true. They have lost here, but they've won 7 in a row.
Carl Hairston, as we suspected, back in the lineup, number 78 for Philadelphia. They need him down here. Second down, goal to go. The ball at the 2-yard line of Philadelphia. Franklin bobbled the ball and is taken in the end zone. Now it's Robinson covers. It'll be a touchback, and Don Shula expresses the emotion that only this game can generate.
It's hard to take.
A rookie from Nebraska coughed it up at the 2-yard line, and it was covered by Jerry Robinson, a great athlete who played his collegiate football for Dick Vermeil at UCLA.
They had a pretty good little hole. Coming in the middle, Ed Newman trying to lead in there, getting a pretty good lead block. Franklin just goes in and coughs it up.
It's almost uncanny the way Robinson is always around the football.
That was LeMaster on a head-on tackle that jarred the ball loose, and it was Jerry Robinson who gets the touchback. Philadelphia's ball at their own 20. Jerry Robinson, a first-round draft of the Eagles 3 years ago. The first-round pick they had since '73. You think he's a good athlete in high school? He ran a 9.900. He was a 6'5" high jumper and a 23.2 long jumper. And he has just covered the ball in the end zone for the Eagles.
Where did he fail?
Not a thing. Heartbreaking turnover for the Dolphins. They had gone 58 yards. Jaworski tries to strike quickly. Sprinting down the sidelines was Charlie Smith. And he was covered well by Don McNeil.
Now that's a good call, Don. You think the other team is dispirited by what just happened? Strike quickly. Go for the bomb.
It was a good call, Howard, but it's so easy to see up here. But he had Keith Crepley, the tight end, number 84. That was running free right down the middle.
But they haven't found him much this year,
well,
for whatever reason.
I think Jaworski had his mind up. He was going deep, and sometimes you don't look. But there was a mix-up in the defensive secondary, and nobody had covered the tight end.
Second down and 10. Jaworski splits Carmichael and Charles Smith both to the left. Oliver. And Hubert Oliver up close to a first down out over the 30-yard line, taken there by Ernie Roan.
That even makes it a better first down call when you can come back on the second down and hand it to Oliver, and he picks up 9 yards on the draw.
You saw Shula's face when Andrew Franklin coughed the ball up. He shouldn't have. He got a solid hit from Lamaster. Nobody stripped him of the ball. Then you look at Shula's history. I saw him trade Mercury Morris and then Leroy Harris. After each had committed vital fumbles.
Andrew was also the 11th guy running onto the field when they were penalized, and he was the guy that slipped down in the backfield. He may not be here by the second half. Who knows?
Could be his last hurrah.
Third down inches. Easy first down. The big man, Booker Russell, who comes in on those short yardage situations, acquired earlier in the year after being turned loose by San Diego when Philadelphia was in a lot of trouble for running backs. He gets the first down.
Oh, what a kid that's going to be. What a game he had against Notre Dame last Friday. I was down here. I saw him. It's a junior. If that kid doesn't have pro potential, I don't know who does.
That looks like Jim Zorn. Poor Jim Zorn broke his leg. Sorry to hear that yesterday. His ankle, I guess it was.
First down and 10, Philadelphia. Jaworski back. Oliver, that's a lateral.
Good move.
Oliver shifts the gear, gets away from Beaucamper, gets back to the line of scrimmage, and he'll get a yard and a half out of it when it should have been a 3 or 4 yard loss.
It certainly should have been. It was a good move. It was also shabby tackling. Tackler had position.
It'll be second down, a little more than 8 to go for the first down. They've marked the ball just inside the 35, and we have 7 minutes and 50 seconds. The clock is ticking away, remaining in the first half. The Eagles, with their very first possession, they drove 80 yards. That's all the scoring. They lead 7-0 over Miami. Here comes the blitz, and the draw call. Hubie Oliver struggles out to the 39-yard line before he's taken by Beaucamper and Baumauer. Again, critical game for both teams tonight. Miami in the AFC East trailing the New York Jets. The Jets winners yesterday over Baltimore have an 8-4-1 record. That tie came against Miami earlier in the season. Miami, of course, tonight 7-4-1, a win. They move back into a tie with the Jets. And, of course, Philadelphia. They need a win tonight to stay abreast of the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys have already beaten the Eagles one time this year. Third down, 5. Out of the shotgun. Jaworski has to hurry it, and the ball is deflected. I think it was Big Kim Beaucamper. So it'll be fourth down, and Max Runiger will come onto the field once again for Philadelphia.
That was a very big series defensively, it seems to me, for Miami, Don.
I think you're right.
They could have folded after that Franklin fumble cost them the touchdown.
I kind of like what I think their philosophy is. They decided to go after him. They went put pressure on him. They sent linebackers. They sent a safety. Make him beat you. Put the pressure on him. Don't give him time to think.
Figueredo has positioned himself at the Dolphins' 15-yard line, awaiting the punt of Runiger. Runiger Gets a foot into it, but it's low, and Vigorito will have the opportunity. And Vigorito out to the 33-yard line. 43-yard effort now by Runninger, and hustling down there for Philadelphia was Ray Phillips. So Miami's offensive unit comes back out onto the field. They'll have the ball at the 33-yard line. 1st and 10. They trail by 7. I think you can handle it. I don't see why not.
I thought it was the Jets who was coaching.
Well, he did a heck of a job with the Jets.
Either team.
No, I respect Ray Perkins very much. He's given the Giants the look of a team without the personnel to really constitute it.
Let's don't forget a former Dolphin player director up there, George Young. He didn't give in and go out and get the old veterans. They have a bunch of kids that can play. 1st down 10, Miami. The ball at the 32-yard line. Down 7-0. Screen, and is taken there by Eddie Hill, and Eddie Hill is covered immediately. Hustling in there, Reggie Wilkes, who is filling the shoes of John Bunting tonight.
Oh, he read that well, didn't he? Read it well, played through that offensive line out there blocking. Georgia Tech, 4th year.
We have mentioned often, Frank and I, how we spotted Reggie Wilkes at the Hall of Fame game in Canton when he was but a rookie.
Didn't he play well that day?
He was the stick out on the field, and you could see he had a future in this league.
Wilkes responsible for a loss of 7 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 17. Miami inside their 21-yard line. Eddie Hill, 31. Now the setback to the Dolphins. Fired from the Rams. He missed several games early in the year with an ankle injury. Woodley fires, and it's complete out there to Ronnie Lee. Lee, I assume, knew that he could get up and perhaps pick up a little more yardage.
His ankle was pinching or something.
And Lee gets it out to about the 34-yard line, where it'll be 3rd and long for Woodley.
A little bit low, but not that much. Well, I guess he was a little lower than I thought. He did make the catch. I guess he was waiting for somebody to come and hit him, wasn't he?
He had a lot of time to get up and make valuable yardage, but he did.
3rd down and 8. Woodley fires, and it's complete to Joe Rose, and Joe Rose has the 1st down. He's inside Philadelphia territory near the 48-yard line.
That was a good throw. I mean, he zipped that one in there. Was take a look from the end zone. But he doesn't have really much leeway of error here. Whipped that ball, didn't ripple that much. Pretty good coverage.
Excellent concentration by Rose.
Yeah.
With that end in front of his face, he read it right in. Rose, by the way, the best receiving end of the 3 tight ends Miami has.
2nd-year man out of the University of California. And Miami still trailing by 7. They had Andre Franklin fumble the ball at the 2-yard line on 2nd down, goal to go a short while ago. Comes what appears to be an option, and wide open is Cefalo if he can stay in bounds, and he does not.
It's a good call. He was out of bounds.
Nathan could have led that upfield. It would have been 6 points.
If he'd just thrown it, a little upfield or back more into the field, he had him all alone. He walked alone. He walks alone because, to tell you the truth,
Cefalo trying so hard to get those feet down. He had no chance. It'll be 2nd down and 10. But the pass play by Tony Nathan caught the Eagles totally by surprise. 4:45 remaining in the 1st half. 7-0. Philadelphia over Miami, and we're going to pause 5 seconds and allow our stations to identify themselves.
Television 3, KTBS TV, Shreveport.
48-yard line. Absolutely no flags thus far. With 4:45 remaining in a half. 2nd down and 10. Here's Tony Nathan. And Nathan tripped up at the 45-yard line and covered quickly by Royale Young. It'll be 3rd down and 7.
So far, blown opportunities by the Dolphins. Philadelphia dominating the 1st quarter completely. Miami the 2nd quarter.
Passing down coming up for David Woodley. Looks over, picks it up, moves up to the line of scrimmage. We'll watch it from the end zone. Hopefully, we'll be able to see it develop. Ball just inside the Eagles' 45-yard line.
safety blitz.
Woodley gets the blitz. And somehow gets the ball again on a hang-up pass to Darial Harris. First down, Miami. 27-yard line of Philadelphia. And again, Woodley showing that great athletic skill.
Ray Ellis is number 24 as the safety blitz. He timed it a little ill-timed play. Zig-out pattern by Darial Harris. Threw the ball up. Harris reads it, comes back, makes a good effort for a nice reception.
That kind of ability by Darial Harris is exactly why Shula said on his coach's show this weekend he would not fine or discipline Harris for criticizing Miami calls late in the Jets game.
4 receptions, 65 yards for Darial Harris. First down 10. Woodley now 5 straight. Tony Nathan, and he's stacked up. Gets a yard out of it. Reggie Wilkes was there. Also, Dennis Harrison. It'll be second down and 9. Darial Harris, by the way, well, he just is a pleasure to watch. Not only is a fine athlete, but he is one of the most acrobatic receivers you're going to see, and he is heading toward a season in which he could become the first Dolphin wide receiver ever to record 1,000 yards. That's hard to believe, but none of them have been able to pull it off. And the man we're looking at now is Carl Harrison, who was shaken up earlier.
He's got cramps in his legs again.
It's unbelievable, isn't it?
So Carl Harrison being treated once again, and we'll be back in the Orange Bowl right after this message. This group will only lie for the field goal kicker. They really only feel part of a football team when they have made their last field goal. And believe me, when a team struggles back and forth in a hard-fought game as we have such as tonight, and a field goal kicker comes out there, he knows full well, as he looks into that huddle, blood dripping out of the corners of some of the players, how hard they've worked. And Montgomery is prepping himself. But right now, Woodley is looking over second down and 9. The ball inside the 26-yard line of the Eagles. 2:33 remaining in the half. And again, Darial Harris, they tried to do a square out and go on Herman Edwards. He read it all the way. It'll be third down and 9. That was a fine play by Herman Edwards.
He didn't go for that first fake at all, did he? Good position. Turned back and looked. That ball could have been intercepted. It was just so far over everybody's head that Edwards didn't have a shot at it.
I think that Edwards might be making a believer out of the Miami Dolphins coaching staff. They have gone 3 times deep on him. He has been in excellent position on each occasion. Third down 9 for Dave Woodley. He has Suffalo right. He has the tight end Joe Rose, the good receiver, in the slot. And split far to the left, Darial Harris. Wide open is Figueredo, and he does not handle the ball. It would have been a first down at the very least. And it will be fourth down. Uwe von Schamann, the place kicker, is coming on the field. Von Schamann, 17 of 23. Longest thus far this season, 46 yards.
Shula clearly disgusted. Knows the mark of a loser, blown opportunities. That's still another one. This field goal attempt well within von Schamann's range. You don't want to come up empty third time around.
43-yard attempt. The holder, Don Sprock. Bob Kuchenberg is not in that offensive line, but he is a snapper for the Dolphins. On its way, and splitting the uprights. Von Schamann has erased the goose egg on the Dolphins scoreboard. They trail 7-3 with 2:14 remaining in the first half, and we'll be back in the Orange Bowl with more action after this message from the National Football League. Giants, Gary Jeter in the National Football League. 2:14 remaining in the first half. Von Schamann to kick off, and Wally Henry situated in the end zone for the Eagles. Von Schamann pumped up, drills it deep into the end zone, and Henry will bring it out.
Good tackle.
Henry is met short of the 20-yard line that he could have attained with the touchback by Ricky Ray. The Eagles have 2:03 on the clock, and they have their 3 timeouts. And we have still to see our first penalty flag. I like that.
It's one of the many reasons this game has progressed so swiftly.
19-yard line for Philadelphia. Miami, of course, thinking along with the Eagles coaching staff, they're thinking pass. The two wide receivers, Smith, Carmichael, split to the right. The quick count gives the ball to Montgomery. And Montgomery puts the head down. Bulls out over the 25-yard line for a gain of 6. It'll be second down and 4. We get the 2-minute warning at 1:57.
All right, while we have a moment, yesterday, the resurgent, as I call them, Pittsburgh Steelers creamed the Rams. Here's how they did it. First quarter, the Pittsburgh Steelers playing the way they played against the Rams, but more quickly so in the Super Bowl a couple of years back. Franco Harris, and what a day he had. There are the stats. Over left tackle for 50 yards. Franco having a great day, breaking the career record for carries in one game, in a season, in a career. In the second quarter, Terry Bradshaw throwing to possibly his favorite of all receivers, Lynn Swann, who suffered a bruised lung during the course of the game. And finally, the Steelers went on to win it, 24-0, over the now admittedly hapless Los Angeles Rams. Pittsburgh is back.
There's a great pair, Dick Vermeil, Ron Jaworski. They've done so much for each one of them. And Ron Jaworski brings the message back out in the Philadelphia Eagle huddle. We'll remind you, NCAA college football coming up this Saturday. It'll be doubleheader action. Sugar Bowl bound Georgia goes against Georgia Tech. What a rivalry that's been over the years. Plus, some of you will see the Division III championships or the Division II semifinals. Then at 3:45 Eastern Time, one of the nation's greatest college rivalries, Army goes against Navy, the annual Army-Navy game. So check the local listings for the game or games and times in your area. Second down, a little more than 3 to go for the first down. 1:57 on the clock. The Eagles leading 7-3. They have 3 timeouts remaining here in the first half. Wilbert Montgomery, right side, gets a block from Hubert Oliver. And Montgomery short of the first down by about a yard. So now the Eagles will have to think in terms of first down.
I think they were thinking that time, Frank. It was kind of an unusual call, a run play. But they had about a 3-yard go for a first down. I think they were going to try to pick it up that time and then go into their 2-minute offense.
And, of course, Don, when you give that football to Montgomery, a lot of things can happen.
That's true.
You can just hand it to him, tell him, look it over, and he's liable to go 60 for you.
But they now need to make it pretty good. They've got him a good long yard to go.
Big man in, Booker Russell, number 32, 235-pounder. This is Russell.
He didn't make it.
It'll be awfully close.
It will depend upon where they mark the progress. Dolphin fans, of course, a partisan crowd, a sellout crowd of 75,000 plus. They are quite sure that he did not make it. But Red Cashin and his troops will check it out. They're going to call for a measurement.
Where they put it, he probably did make it. I didn't think he got it to where they put it.
First down, Philadelphia. 1:08 now remaining in the first half. The Eagles still with their 3 timeouts, and Jaworski will expend one of them. The Eagles now with 2 timeouts.
Well, the Atlanta Falcons started their charge for a playoff berth against Minnesota last Monday. Yesterday against Houston at Houston, they continued that charge, and here's how they did it. In the second quarter, Steve Bartkowski passing to the guy who seems to be there in the clutch, Alfred Jackson, number 85, 43 yards and a touchdown. Then Atlanta's ball on the next play they had from scrimmage. Steve Bartkowski to 84, Alfred Jenkins, 42 yards, touchdown. Houston with a late rally failed. Atlanta won it 31-27. Dreams of playoff.
And of course Atlanta staying alive. They're going to need a computer to figure out these playoffs over the next few weeks.
You figure it out.
1:08 remaining in the first half. The Eagles holding on to the lead. They took their very first possession, 80 yards for a touchdown. They now lead by 4. The Dolphins answering with a 43-yard field goal from Von Schaumann. First down, 10, Philadelphia. Out of the shotgun. Here comes the blitz, and Jaworski was his arm in motion. In any event, the Eagles cover. The man on the ball, number 75, is Stan Walters.
Montgomery made a good move to come around to the outside. You know, it looked like to me that
Ruled incomplete. The arm in motion by Jaworski. The crowd doesn't like it.
looked like to me that Jaworski saw that he was not going to be hit, and he just threw it right down in the ground. Now, that's if he did that, that's pretty quick thinking. It looked like he did it when he got hit. Good pressure that time. Take a quick look at it again, but let's just see. He's got some pressure from the outside, you see. I think he was trying to pull it back down, and he just let it go. So
Ruled incomplete, however. It'll be second down and 10. Crowd agrees totally with you, Don.
yeah, well,
Montgomery, and he's tripped up from behind after he sprawls out over the 35-yard line to the 36. It'll be third down and 4. Hurry up offense now by the Eagles. They've called the extra plays in the huddle. Guy Morris looks around, gets the snap number.
I've never really understood this 2-minute defense. You know, you stop them all night long and go into a defense.
Incomplete. It'll be fourth down, and Philadelphia will have to punt away with 35 seconds remaining in the half. Billy Campfield, the intended receiver. Jaworski put it on the ground. Figueredo dropping for Miami, and the defensive unit of the Dolphins gets an ovation. I've got a feeling the second half is going to be some kind of football.
Well, the Dolphins could certainly be ahead right now. They missed a golden opportunity to score when they fumbled into the end zone.
Philadelphia making their first touchdown drive. Looked so easy. Now, all of a sudden, the Dolphins, who could have tucked their tails when they fumbled that ball, they are back battling. Runninger hits it. Figueredo driven all the way back inside the 15. He's in trouble. And Figueredo struggles back out to the 7-yard line with 22 seconds remaining in the half.
Now that was really a thoughtless play by Figueredo. 22 seconds left. Don't risk an over-the-head catch on a punt like that. Deep in your own territory.
There's a shot of it. You see him.
That's ridiculous.
I'll tell you, Runninger hit one for 25 yards. Since then, he has hit for 43 yards, 46 yards, and now 52 yards. Miami will take over first and 10 at their own 7. You saw the trials and tribulations of Figueredo, who probably, following that first kick of Runninger's at 25 yards, just didn't think he had it in him. If it should be pertinent to the action, Miami has 3 timeouts. We doubt if we'll see them use it. Woodley lets his head down. Seconds ticking off on the clock.
Eagles
Now Philadelphia will call timeout, hoping perhaps that they could get a fumble down in close. Philadelphia now with 1 timeout remaining, and if the Dolphins so desire, they should be able to easily run out the remaining seconds here in the first half.
Well, Woodley just drop on the football.
Hard to believe that they even questioned Don Shula down here. Is that there's a guy in 18 years has had 1 losing season. Just won over 200 games in his career. Only 3 other coaches had ever done that.
See the turnabout from first to second quarter? There are the stats. But Miami did not capitalize. And that's not incredible. That happens.
And, of course, Don Shula's young counterpart, Dick Vermeil, those 2 magnificent years at UCLA in 74 and 75. Of course, with the Rams before that. Had a great record at UCLA during those 2 years. I think he won 15, lost 5, upset number 1 ranked Ohio State in the 76 Rose Bowl. And that was enough for the Eagles, who were looking for a young coach. Second down, a long 8. Down goes Woodley, covering the football. And it'll be third down. And the final seconds. Kickoff here in the first half. Mr. Don Shula to the locker room in regrouping time, although his troops played excellent football here in the second quarter. We'll be back with halftime action after this message and a word from our local stations. They're close, and so is the score. 7-3, Philadelphia over Miami. The time of possession unbalanced in favor of Philadelphia, but keep in mind they took the opening kickoff. They went 80 yards. They used over half of the first quarter on that drive that put them on the scoreboard first. And let's take a look at the key play. It was Ron Jaworski, their quarterback, dropping back out of the shotgun. He gets in trouble looking downfield, and then sort of uncharacteristically of Jaworski, he spots open territory, pulls the ball down. He ambled 26 yards, got a first down for the Philadelphia Eagles, and the drive continued. It was a mixing of plays, running and passing on the part of the Philadelphia Eagles. They were absolutely flawless in that first drive. And it was number 31, Wilbert Montgomery, who carries the ball nearly a third of the time, or is involved either in rushing or pass receiving for the Eagles in nearly a third of their offensive plays, getting it in for the touchdown. And then a little later on, second down, goal to go. Miami could have tied it up. Andre Franklin gets the call over the left side, and the rookie from Nebraska is hit by LeMaster. The ball comes loose, and Jerry Robinson collects it in the end zone. It was a touchback, and Miami, as we said earlier, could have been terribly dispirited after that. They did not. They began to play much stronger. And here is the man that will direct things for the Miami Dolphins in the second half. The youngster in his second year out of LSU, and a year ago, Howard, when he came to training camp, 8th round draft pick, no one had a clue this youngster would replace the great Bob Greasy.
I think Shula had a clue. Shula has observed the changes in the game very closely. He knows that a quarterback in this day and age has a great advantage with mobility. The scouts had told him of Woodley, and he has disciplined the young man remarkably well, considering that he's just in his second year. Wouldn't you agree, Don?
I think he has too. I do think he's still got a long way to go, but that's not saying anything really negative. He just is in his second year, and with a young club like Miami, we mentioned at the top of the telecast, they have a tendency to play real hot and real cold. Tonight they've had an opportunity to put a few more points on the board, and they haven't. But I think Woodley, the big plus that I see is the mobility that you mentioned, because I do think that's a trend in the National Football League, and I think you'll see more clubs drafting that kind of quarterback, the guy that can run. He's going to have to still throw a little bit, but they've changed so many of the rules, the passing rules. If you'll notice, all the quarterbacks, their percentage of completion is way up from what it was, say, 5 or 6 years ago.
Tony Franklin bangs it deep to Fulton Walker, the rookie from West Virginia for Miami. And Walker corralled out there at the 18-yard line, and Miami will have first possession here in the second half.
Fulton Walker took a chance taking that ball in the end zone. It didn't pay off. As you can see, he is 7 to 8 yards short of the 20-yard line.
The barefooted boy from Texas A&M, Tony Franklin, switched it on out through there. Got off a good kick. I agree totally. One of the strong points of the Philadelphia team is their special team. And if he didn't know that by now, he's going to find it out when he only got back to the 18 and 19-yard line.
They mark it at the 19. Miami, first possession, is setbacks, 37. Franklin, 22, Nathan. Woodley with the handoff. Andre Franklin, big gaping hole, and Franklin out to the 26-yard line for a gain of 7. It'll be second down and 3. Frank LeMaster there defensively for Philadelphia. That offensive line we talked about earlier as we look at the opening. 57 is Dwight Stevenson. He's replaced an injured Mark Dennard. Jeff Tays is in there for Kuchenberg, and they did the number.
How about that blockhead Newman threw on a little trap block in the middle? They double-teamed the man in the middle. Had a good trap block by Newman. Big hole.
Second down, 3. That's Ceplo, number 81, in motion. And this is Tony Nathan. Nathan gets to the outside, and he has the first down out over the 30-yard line. Hit there by Roy Nell Young.
Now this is what they really wanted to establish in the first half. The ability to gain good yardage on the ground will make it a lot easier for Woodley.
You see that flak jacket that Nathan is wearing, that bulky, cumbersome thing around his waist. He missed a couple of games early in the year with bruised ribs, and he's still playing hurt. But he has provided much of the offense for the Dolphins over the years. Good receiver. Over 600 yards rushing now. First and 10. Miami inside the 31-yard line. Woodley wants to go deep to Joe Rose. And Rose lost it in the lights as he was picked up deep by Randy Logan for Philadelphia. It'll be second down and 10.
Didn't have a shot at that one. They had it covered all the way. Might have been a little flaw in the pass pattern. He didn't have anybody short to come off to. So his only shot was to miss him. If he's going to miss him deep.
You beat Randy Logan, you're beating one of the very best. That is some defensive secondary that the Eagles have. Roynell Young coming on so strongly. Edwards, Logan.
And they have a fine director in Murray and Campbell, the coach. Former Atlanta head coach. On second and 10, Eddie Hill. And Hill looks back to the inside, paid the price as Bernard Wilson was there first for the Philadelphia Eagles, and then that hustling, pursuing defense was all over Eddie Hill.
For a brief instant, I thought it was going to be an option pass.
A little too much dancing there in the backfield, wasn't it? He didn't make his cut real quick.
Third down. It'll be 8 yards to go for the young quarterback from LSU, David Woodley. They bring the play in off the bench. And they include Tommy Vigorito, fine pass receiver in his rookie year out of Virginia. And Joe Rose, number 80, is the tight end. The best receiver of the 3 tight ends on the Dolphins squad. Woodley looking deep. Intended for Darial Harris. He slipped. And it'll be fourth down. We'll see the punting unit for Miami. Beautiful night for football here in Miami.
I must say the last 5 days down here have been the finest days I've ever had in Miami in terms of weather. Just beautiful.
You got those nice rosy cheeks to prove it. Rose will punt. Wally Henry, as you see, has positioned himself inside his own 25-yard line. Rose with nearly a 41-yard average. Flag goes down. First one we've had tonight. Here's Wally Henry. And Henry gets back out close to the 34-yard line.
It's going to be interesting because it appeared that the Eagles did a terrific job of shutting off that rush of the special team. Nobody seemed to be getting downfield.
Rose just stood there with the football. He wasn't going to kick it. Red Cashin, our referee tonight, and his crew. Holding.
They didn't close them off, did they?
Philadelphia Eagles.
Big break for the Dolphins.
And let's take a look at our officials tonight. They have presented you with a very quiet game tonight in terms of flag throwing. That's their occupation, and they're not being harassed by you people. Don Shirley now is in a heated debate with Red Cashin.
Number 79 of the receivers, after the ball was kicked. After the ball was kicked, it'll be first down.
I'll tell you, that flag went down before the ball ever got to Wally Henry. And Don Shirley is exercised about it.
I think he's wants a reading of the rules, doesn't he?
They've got some tippers now. Dolphins, of course, are saying that the holding was before the kick. And I think the decision has been made.
Hey, Red.
He's not going to listen to him.
Don Shula, even after 21 years, 18 with Miami, now in his 19th, 8 with Baltimore, still feels the heat and the emotion of this game.
Strength of that man's character is written in his face.
Don Shula now is way out of bounds from where he should be. He's down at the 15-yard line. He's telling Red Cashin that Orris was holding the ball, and the holding occurred before he punted.
He told him he choked. Did you see that?
Well, Shula has an awful lot of support with this partisan crowd of over 75,000. Over and out, the Eagles, 1st and 10. The ball at their own 9-yard line. Well, we got our first flag. We got fireworks with it. Jaworski, Carmichael, and he comes down with the football. Yardage for the first down out to the 22-yard line. Gerald Small, and he is small compared to Carmichael. Small is 5'11", covering a 6'8" Harold Carmichael.
This is a deliberate, disciplined, purposeful team reflecting Vermeil. Have to wonder why Woodley, somebody up here must have thought they saw something in the first half. Suddenly the Dolphins were giving Woodley long passes to throw.
I think they ought to look again.
Quick count, Wilbert Montgomery. Montgomery cutting back inside. Jerry Sizemore struggles up to the 29-yard line. Gain of about 6. It'll be 2nd down and 4. You heard Don Shula yelling to Red Cashin. He was holding the ball. He meant that Tom Orris, Don mentioned it, had no pressure, so he just held the ball back there before he punted it.
I've got a feeling that was something they've seen in the films, because it looked like it was almost a planned play, that he was almost playing for that defensive holding.
Shula's point was that the holding took place while Orris was holding the ball waiting for the pressure, in which case it would have been a Miami first down. 2nd down, 4. Fire to Carmichael once again, incomplete. Carmichael down the sidelines inside the 40-yard line, fighting there with Lyle Blackwood all the way.
Well, they've been really sharp these last 3 plays, haven't they?
They really have.
I think I would throw to Carmichael quite a bit if I was that quarterback. That little down and in they threw earlier. It's awfully hard to cover a guy like that. He's got the speed. You saw him there. Just go back, fake deep, turn around, and pick a little turn in. Ball was right on the money. Good throw by Jaworski.
50 receptions on the year. That's the 5th season in 11 years that Carmichael has caught 50 or more passes. Of course, you're familiar with his great record of a year ago. 127 consecutive games he went until that string was broken last year, where he caught 1 or more passes. 43-yard line of Miami on 1st and 10. Jaworski with the blitz. Gets it to Montgomery. And Montgomery has to struggle to get back to the line of scrimmage, and this time another flag is down.
Fine tackle by Glenn Blackwood.
Truly was, because if he had not made that tackle, they could really pick up some big yardage. Had a good rush that time.
Flag went down to mark the ball. No penalty. Gain of a yard by Montgomery. 2nd down and 9. 10:54, and the clock is ticking away here in the 3rd quarter. The Eagles on top of the Dolphins, 7-3. Oliver, and Oliver hammers his way to the 35-yard line, short of the first down. It'll be 3rd down and 3. Oliver, 510-pound, 212-pound rookie out of Arizona. Had a great career out there. But nevertheless, his speed suspect. He came in the 10th round, and with all the injuries to running backs in the early season for Philadelphia, he just sort of inherited the job and has done a fine job. 3rd down, long 3. Montgomery, first down.
Oh, good.
Beautiful cutback. Montgomery gets the first down at the 26-yard line. Kim Bocamper put the tackle on Montgomery at that point.
And what a big play. And what a big play that penalty call was, the way it was called. Because Miami seems defensively to have sagged perceptibly.
Either that or that offense sure has picked up. This is reminiscent of the first time they had the ball tonight when they took it right down the field 80 yards. This time they're going to have an opportunity to take it 90 yards.
Using Carmichael, particularly underneath McNeil.
Another good place for Carmichael.
First down and 10, a rapidly moving third quarter.
There's Carmichael again.
Carmichael with a terrific catch off his right shoulder. He had slipped. Down he went. He was right in front of Don McNeil. Nevertheless, he gets the reception. Short of the first down, but there's a 7-yard pickup.
They can use that play every play.
I think that was an audible, as a matter of fact. Let's see if we can. Well, we're not going to see the beginning of the play. I think Jaworski delayed a little bit. He saw a man-to-man coverage over there. You saw Carmichael slip a little bit. The ball was right on the money, though. Picked up a good 7 or 8 yards.
He is some athlete. That was a very difficult catch. They mark it to 19. Call it second down and 3. Miami showing blitz, and Oliver is taken.
Well, that was a great play.
Ernie Roan. Daro Yepremian on the spot. Seen in so many triumphs for this former Miami Dolphin and Detroit Lion.
Well, before you guys got down here, I spent a whole day with him on Friday. Things can happen in this league that mystify you. The Bears needing a field goal kicker desperately. The Browns too, at different points of the season, and maybe still. And Yepremian not picked up by anyone, as is the case of Tim Mazzetti.
Third down and 4. Big play for the Miami defense. From the shotgun. Here comes the blitz. Jaworski gets it off. In and out of the hands of Carmichael, who complains that he was interfered with. No flag. It'll be 4th down, and we'll see Tony Franklin.
I like the defensive philosophy. I just think it works. If you're going to go back there, throw everything at them, make them beat you with a good throw. If they beat you with a good throw, man-to-man coverage, hey, let them win.
Tony Franklin, he got off to 10 of 11 at the beginning of this season. All of a sudden, he has only made 2 of his last 6 attempts. His best of the year, a 47-yard effort. This one will be from 37 yards.
This is a chippy for him when he's right. Paul Peterson says he's in a slump.
John Shara will hold. Guy Morris will snap. Movement by Miami. If they're offsides, it'll be a Philadelphia first down.
I think he was drawn off.
Could well have been. Ron Baker drawing the Miami defense offside. Dick Vermeil says, calm down, boys.
Dick Vermeil looks like one of those organ grinders. That guy follows him around everywhere on a chain out there. Well, he does.
So now, Tony Franklin will have to unleash a little more foot. This will be a 42-yard attempt. He missed last week against the Giants twice. 1 from 52, 1 from 44. He does not miss from 42, and the Eagles have extended their lead. 10-3, Philadelphia over Miami. Critical game for both teams, trying to stay even with the leaders in their respective divisions. We'll be back. We're back in the Orange Bowl in Miami with 7:22 remaining in the third quarter. Philadelphia is added 3 points. Tony Franklin, 42-yard field goal. That's Fulton Walker, the rookie 6th-round draft pick from West Virginia. And this is Franklin, set to kick off. And again, I'm sure we will be hearing about, reading about the call that was made against Philadelphia a short while ago. We have understood from our sideline man, Bill Edwards, who works and prowls along that sideline in all of our games, that the Philadelphia Eagles phones to the press box are out of order. It would be just terrible if they went on to win big, wouldn't it?
Kind of like the heaters going out in Green Bay. I remember that, too.
How about Wrigley Field with the old Bears?
Yeah.
Here comes Fulton Walker. And Walker powers his way out over the 25, close to the 28-yard line. Ray Phillips was there first for Philadelphia.
Well, he really had a good wedge there.
For Miami now, it's regrouped. A lot of youngsters on this football team. They marked it inside the 28-yard line. David Woodley is joined by Tony Nathan, number 22, Andre Franklin, number 37. Those are the setbacks. Wide receivers, Cefalo, number 81, Darial Harris, number 82. Andre Franklin and the big rookie stacked up. Still surges for about a yard, and now it does appear as if the Eagle defense is fired up.
Oh, Chesley, one-on-one tackle there was just beautiful.
Hey, he's done a great job filling in for Bill Berge. Bill Berge, of course, tried to come back this year. The knee wouldn't allow it. They brought in Al Chesley, and right now on that left side, we have Chesley, who's been there all year, but he's joined over there by Reggie Wilkes, who has replaced the veteran John Bunning, who was injured last week. Second down and 9. Woodley fires to Darial Harris, and they're going to give him a great catch.
What a catch.
At the 40-yard line. First down Miami, and Darial Harris is putting on a show tonight. Again, he's looking to reach the 1,000-yard reception mark. Oh, no Dolphin has ever done it.
Good throw, good defensive coverage, but a terrifically outstanding catch. Look at that. Almost. Edwards almost flipped that one away. Good move. Way to keep those feet in bounds. Darial.
76 yards thus far on the night. That takes Darial Harris over 800 yards on 5 receptions. First and 10. The ball just over the 40-yard line for Miami. Play action by David Woodley. Rolls out behind it. Off the fingertips of Tony Nathan.
That hurts.
They've been trying to work on Roynell Young over here. We saw him run to look at the old Goodyear blimp. Looks like to me it's about 204,000 cubic feet of helium up there. I would say it's 200 feet long, maybe 60 feet high. Just a guess.
Probably came from Pompano Beach, Florida.
Wouldn't be surprised. Let's call it the Enterprise.
And Captain Mike Fitzpatrick might be up there. We hope he's up there.
I do too.
All right. Throw away the cue cards.
You know, these guys can put a little drive together. What I was going to say about Royal Young, they tried to get him deep. They had him deep with a halfback option pass. They've tried a couple other times deep, but they really haven't beaten him. He's playing a good job, doing a good job over there.
Second down and 10. Woodley back once again. Keeps his backs in. Trying to get the screen off.
I think
Philadelphia
they read that.
reads it.
And so did the master.
Tony Nathan covered by Frank LeMaster. There's a gain of maybe a yard. It'll be third down and 8.
Last week in Atlanta, we emphasized the strength of the respective linebackers of each team, Atlanta and Minnesota. Well, you're seeing a great linebacking core tonight. LeMaster making that play, Chesley earlier, Jerry Robinson with a nose for the football. They have great strength in the linebacking department, and perhaps best revealed by Wilkes' ability to substitute so effectively for Bunting.
Third down and 8. Darial Harris, top of your screen. Cefalo split to the right. Cefalo without a reception tonight. Pressure for Woodley, and Woodley gets out of trouble and throws it out of bounds. There's a safety blitz with Ray Ellis chasing David Woodley out of the pocket, and I venture to say that most quarterbacks in this league would have been sacked.
And Woodley said, where'd that guy come from? Wait a minute. He got back there in a hurry, didn't he?
Oh, he was all over him, and yet Woodley was able, with that athletic ability, to get away. Here's Wally Henry inside his 15-yard line. Tom Oro's on to punt.
And the Eagles are a good football team.
Watch Oro's. Now, he's one of the 2 kickers around that takes 2 steps. One of the reasons he was able to replace George Roberts this year. There he waits again. That's what he did the time before.
Flag goes up again.
Wally Henry from the 10-yard line. The flag is down. And hustling down there for Miami, Steve Shaw and Elmer Bailey.
Superb coverage.
And have an illegal man downfield. And Philadelphia will have an option. And I presume that they would like to see the punt take place again. Since they have marked the ball at the 16-yard line, they'll bring it back. Did you see Oroz again that time? That's what Shula complained about the time before, if you were with us. That Oroz stood there for maybe 2 beats, 3 beats, until he felt the pressure, and then he punted. And Shula thought the holding call was before the kick.
Watch this.
Now Oro's not going to punt that ball until he gets pressure. That allows his men to get deep.
Down the field too soon. Number 59 at the kicker. It's still 4th down.
They indicate that Bob Grodzinski was downfield too early. Miami will kick again, and maybe we'll see Oroz once again hold that ball. As Philadelphia is setting up for the return rather than the attempt to block. This time, pressure, and Oroz kicks away. Short kick. Wally Henry watches it bounce. Short hops it at the 20-yard line. And struggles out of bounds near the 27 on a 43-yard effort by Oroz.
Not the kind of play you dwell on, but a great pickup by Henry in a very dangerous bouncing situation. We'll be back in the Orange Bowl in a moment.
He is too good for
Cosell and Don Meredith watching a game. It means a great deal to both Miami and the AFC Eastern Division. They need a win tonight to stay with the Jets. First place in the AFC East. Philadelphia needs a win to stay with Dallas at 10-3 in the Eastern Division of the NFC. First down, 10, Philadelphia. The ball inside their 27-yard line. A.J. Dewey pursuing Jaworski, takes him out of bounds. It'll be a loss of a couple.
Talking about Philadelphia trying to stay with Dallas, Frank, it's interesting little statistic to me. I find that in the last 3 years, they've stayed with Dallas in the regular season record. They've won 32 and lost 12, the same as Dallas. So they've really come on the last 3 years.
Both teams, however, in a lot of trouble because as we see the games coming up for us, Cleveland and Houston, and then next Monday, Pittsburgh and Oakland, because Miami has lost to the Jets, 16-15. Philadelphia has already lost to Dallas. And, of course, the first tiebreaker, if you should end up in a tie, is head-to-head competition.
But they do play Dallas again.
Yes, they do, in 2 weeks. Second down, 14. Jaworski gets the ball to Keith Tuffley incomplete, however, and Jaworski was being pressured. Larry Gordon was in there as the Dolphins come with the blitz.
And so was Bob Baumhauer, who's had a simply tremendous year. Shula likes the kids from Alabama. They come well schooled.
Got 4 of them here, I think.
Baumhauer leading the Dolphins in sacks from that nose tackle position. Third down, 14. Billy Campfield comes in, number 37. He works well out of the backfield, as does Wilbert Montgomery. Both good receivers coming out of the backfield, and the Eagles are in the shotgun. Bo Camper placing Jaworski, and a man wide open with Montgomery, but Jaworski, feeling the heat, overthrows.
And Ron knows.
He had him. Montgomery open. He might have gone to the end zone.
I think any quarterback can hit them when you got time. As a few of them can still hit them when you don't have much time. That's why you really blitz them. Go after them. That's the way you play that defense. I know things like that.
Vigorito. As Max Runniger sets up to punt for Philadelphia, Vigorito at his own 32-yard line. Miami, in all probability, should have good field position following the punt. Long count by Runniger. Now Runniger holds it for a beat. And Runniger hits another beauty that takes Vigorito inside his 25. And hustling down there, the Philadelphia special team led by JoJo Heat. Dump Vigorito at the 28-yard line. Miami trailing 10-3 with 4:23 in the third quarter will take over. David Woodley and Don Shula on the sidelines having a difficult time finding the combination to unlock the Philadelphia defense. But few teams have. They have given up the fewest points in the NFL through 12 games. A little over 14 points per game average. And they are not changing things tonight. 10-3, the Eagles over the Dolphins, 4:23 remaining in the third quarter. First and 10, Miami. Woodley. Cefalo was open, and it's overthrown.
He was not open by much. He was open. Had pretty good defensive short and long coverage. That was LeMaster that was there in front. He was open, but he had to drop it over that linebacker's head. That's a pretty tough throw.
You know, as we watch Philadelphia, we've talked already this evening. As we look at Don Strock, he would be the backup to David Woodley. As we watch this defense, 16 free agents on this team overall. They play so well. The #1 defensive team in the NFL. Super Bowl team a year ago. Credit too must go to Carl Peterson, the personnel man for Dick Vermeil and the Eagles. He was with him at UCLA. He remains with him today. He's done a superb job. On 2nd and 10. Nathan struggles out over the 30-yard line, close to the 31. It'll be 3rd down and 7. Frank LeMaster again defensively there for Philadelphia.
We just showed Don Strock, the backup quarterback. Shula is well aware, with the kind of defense, as you look at Don again, the kind of defense Philadelphia has, you don't want an immobile quarterback in there. You want to use every edge you can get, so you're not likely to see Strock come in for Woodley.
3:41 remaining in the third quarter. Thus far, Woodley with 2 completions here in the third. Woodley, down he goes.
Well, glad I said that.
A lot of pressure.
Timely.
The man who finally comes up with Woodley is Dennis Harrison, but there was pressure from Charlie Johnson and Carl Hairston. And that will bring on the punting unit. Tom Orrs. And now Wally Henry will position himself at his 30. And the Eagles could come out of this with good field position. Orrs gets it to turnover. It takes Henry to the 30-yard line. And Wally Henry out over the 45 to the 47-yard line on a 46-yard Tom Orros punt. And Philadelphia's offensive unit comes back out onto the field. Good field position. 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter. There's been a lot of great action. You played your last game here, Don. I recall it well. I carried home your most valuable trophy from the runner-up bowl game. Remember those days?
I certainly do.
In fact, I think I lost the trophy.
You knocked the head off of it. They knocked the little guy off the top of it.
I've never seen one. First and 10, Philadelphia, 47-yard line. Whoa, Jaworski back to the line of scrimmage. He'll get a yard before he is taken there by Vernon Herter.
Then Herter closed off another 15-yard gain by Jaworski that time by coming in, filling in, picked up a couple.
I had a question for you. This guy has been so great over the years, never been in the Pro Bowl. You wonder why. I mean, he's so steady. He's playing in his 149th consecutive game. Came up 11 years ago. He was part of the unbeaten team of 72.
83 Den Herter and 84 Stanford. What a team they had. Oh.
2nd down and 7, the ball right at midfield. Out of the shotgun, Jaworski flags and whistles. When the play stops.
You know it's no play when you see A.J. Dewey stop.
Delay of game, Philadelphia. Not a good time to have that occur.
Well, this is about as big a series from Miami's point of view as this game has had. Because they've got to stop Philadelphia now.
Delay by the offense. Still 2nd down.
I'm glad he didn't say number 7 because I think that play was late getting into Ron Jaworski. 2nd down now and 12. 2:12 remaining in the third quarter. And that's one of our talented cameramen from the end zone, give you this view, a defensive view, if you will. Draw play, and this time read perfectly by Miami's defense. It'll be 3rd down and long, 3rd and 11 for Philadelphia.
Notice again, 77, A.J. Dewey in on the play. Don mentioned early in the game the remarkable game he had against the Pittsburgh Steelers at the very start of our season, a Thursday night game. This is a great player.
We'll watch it again from the end zone. 3rd down, 11. From the shotgun for Philadelphia. Miami shows the blitz, and then they get out of it. Jaworski fires, and is complete to Montgomery. He'll be short of the 1st down. But not by much, as Ernie Roan made the stop.
What do you do, Coach?
Well, I think right now, with only a 7-point lead, depends on how far they got to go. I would go ahead and punt it back down there and just put them back in the hole. The defense is playing real well.
Punch.
Punt.
Exact.
And Runninger comes into the ball game. You saw Dick Vermeil wanting a timeout. He wants to talk it over. And now Runninger has come back out of the game. So we'll be back in the Orange Bowl in Miami with the decision of the Philadelphia Eagles right after this. The Eagles with 1:01 remaining in the 3rd quarter on a 4th down and 1 have made their decision. They have Max Runninger in the game. Apparently, at least apparently, they set up in their punt formation. Tom Vigorito guessing with Runninger as to which sideline he'll try to kick the ball to. Runninger aims it high and deep in the end zone. The line of scrimmage, the 44-yard line, and Miami will have possession at their own 20 following the touchback. College football, a reminder once again, doubleheader action this Saturday. Sugar Bowl bound Georgia goes against Georgia Tech in that rivalry down in the South. Plus some of you will see Division III championships or the Division II semifinals. Then at 3:45 Eastern Time, Army versus Navy. So check the local listings for the games and times in your area. Important series for the Miami Dolphins a few moments ago. Philadelphia had great field position following the turnover. And now Miami has the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20. They trail 10-3, 51 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. Woodley again going deep.
They haven't beat him yet.
And Roynell Young running stride for stride with Jimmy Cephalo. That's a play you might ordinarily see from Nat Moore, the gifted receiver of the Dolphins, but he has been hurt and not playing over the past few weeks.
I don't understand these calls, which are being dictated from up here in the booth next to us, Don.
Looks like me bumped him a little bit going for that ball there, but it'll be a tough call. He just had pretty good defensive, good position on him. He didn't let him get a jump on him at all. Cephalo.
They've got Greasy next door. They've got English next door. They got Charlie Winter next door.
What they miss really is Nat Moore. They mentioned it before, but he is the man who can get deep for them. Cephalo does not have the speed. Neither does Darial Harris, really. Nat Moore was the man who could get deep. He's missed 3 of the last 5 games. Woody, that's a lateral.
That is a lateral.
A lot about it. That's where it'll be marked.
Now the Bluebirds take over as we count down toward the end of the quarter. And might have added that Carl Tasef is next door.
That was a little bit too quick on the trigger. He threw that ball out. And it was a lateral. They're going to put it back to where the ball went out of bounds, so it's going to be a loss of 6 or 8 yards for him.
Combination of both. His drop was slow also, and it left him in a lateral position as he tried to go to Tony Nathan. So now he is faced with a 3rd down and 18. Dangerous situation if you try to get the yardage. If you don't, you're going to have to punt the ball, and Philadelphia will have the ball close to midfield. David Whitney looks it over. Eagles very poised in these kinds of situations. Nathan. I think a good call. as Nathan gets up close to the original line of scrimmage. The crowd doesn't like it, but it was a very conservative call by Don Shula, who is only trailing by 1 touchdown. And that will bring up 4th down. Tom Oros will come out, and he will not get the punt away before the 3rd quarter expires. You're watching another exclusive of ABC Sports. And there it is, the end of the 3rd quarter with the score. The Eagles 10, the Dolphins 3. And the crowd showing once again that they are very unhappy. And we'll be back with 4th quarter action after this message from our local. Damaged shoulder a year ago, couldn't pull it together, retired now, still on the Dolphins staff. That's him. Meanwhile, down in the field, Don Strock, the backup quarterback to David Whitley, has been warming up. Don Shula went over and spoke to him a moment ago. Could be that we will see Strock on the next series.
This is the move Shula did not want to make because of Woodley's mobility. But you were right. He had a slow drop. The intended lateral was pitiful. And Shula may turn to Don.
We begin the 4th quarter, 4th down and 11, and Miami in punt formation. Oros handles a high snap, gets off a short kick. Wally Henry flips it over, decides he can make the attempt, and he's upended right at the 46-yard line by a hustling Ricky Ray. So we move into the 4th quarter. The Eagles on top 10-3. Let's take a look at the stats up to the moment.
Well, the stats reveal that Philadelphia dominated the 3rd quarter. Figures now in their favor. Time of possession, not necessarily a revealing, sometimes deceiving statistic, also in the Eagles' favor.
3rd time the Eagles have had good field position here in the 2nd half. They have been unable to capitalize against the Miami Dolphin defense. A.J. Dewey reigns all over Montgomery.
Here's something.
That's not booing. They're going Dewey, Dewey, Dewey.
Incidentally, there's a guy in another booth we should mention, the long-term voice of the Miami Dolphins, Rick Weaver. He's 58 years old tonight. We want to wish him well. And his wife, who had a stroke, is here tonight. They're being celebrated at a party tomorrow night. We bless them and wish them well.
4-yard loss by Montgomery. A tackle by Dewey. 2nd down, 14. The crowd coming to life once again. Oliver. Down goes Oliver. And a great play this time by Ernie Roan. And Philadelphia's offense is in reverse.
You never know what turns it around, but you get guys like Dewey staring there in the face. Good defensive read by Rome. Just went out in front, played off a attempted block by Guy Morris. Guy Morris really can't block out there until that.
I'll tell you, Rowan played some great football for them. He had 3 sacks last week against Richard Todd in the Jets game. It's going to be 3rd down now and 23. Not an enviable position to put the ball in the air.
Also a good time to put in a quarterback like Strock, I think, now to get this thing turned around. They'll get juiced up. Maybe he can put a little life in it.
Miami, 4 defensive linemen. They give it to Campfield on the draw. Campfield is collared as he struggles to the 40-yard line. And out comes the punting unit.
And give Glenn Blackwood some credit for getting the jersey of the runner. And Don Strock.
Mouth get a little bit dry about right now. Just water it up and get back in there and let it go.
Max Runninger. There's Tommy Vigorito. He's back at the Miami 15-yard line. Golden Walker, a short man for the Dolphins. This crowd is supercharged at the moment. We're in the 4th quarter. The Eagles over the Dolphins, 10-3. Runninger, beautiful punt. Vigorito back at his 10-yard line. And Vigorito just explodes out over the 30-yard line before he's upended by Reggie Wilkes. 50-yard punt by Max Runninger. Don Strock is replacing David Woodley, and you'll hear the crowd.
Blow away everything you ever...
There he is, your perennial backup quarterback, Don Strock, in his 8th year out of Virginia Tech. Had 1 year on the taxi squad when they used to have such an item. His stats on a career: 52%, 29 touchdowns, 28 interceptions. He's had some superb games. He's had some disaster games. Not too mobile, not certainly like David Woodley. Perhaps a better arm than David Woodley. On first down and 10 from their own 31-yard line, Strock immediately to the air, out to Darial Harris. And Darial Harris gets back to the line of scrimmage, squeezes out a yard and a half before Roynell Young takes him out of bounds.
Good psychology behind that play, not good execution. The psychology is complete the first one, get it out there to a guy like Darial Harris. Maybe he can break it for a gainer. But more important, let's get this thing settled down, get your arm loose, let's go. Threw the ball a little bit low and behind him, and Darial didn't get a good running start.
Give him 2. It'll be second down and 8. Eddie Hill comes in, number 31. As I mentioned earlier, acquired from the Rams when the Dolphins were in running back trouble early in the season. Movement by the Eagles, and there was contact made, and the whistle blows.
And I don't think they were drawn off.
Ken Clark made the contact. Indication 5 yards against Philadelphia. This crowd has really snapped around. They sense that the Dolphins, with fine defensive play against the Eagles in good field position, can pull this one out.
Isn't it time to say, Frank, that can happen with a new quarterback in there and a different rhythmic count?
It often can help. And Don Strock has won games in relief many times.
Encroachment, number 71 on the defense, still second down.
Cliche number 582 in the lexicon.
Which one was that?
New quarterback in there.
Second down, less than 3. Ball at the 38. Nathan. And Nathan struggling close to a first down in the arms of Frank LeMaster.
Well, with the help of the offsides, he got it.
Frank LeMaster, you watch him, that's been around 8 years, never missed a game. Another one of those fine athletes from Kentucky, where he also led it at one time in basketball. Marion Campbell gets so much mileage out of the talent that he has available. We'll cover this deep from the end zone for you. Strock is back and looking. Strock trying to squeeze it in the zone to Jimmy Cephalo. Played well defensively by Randy Logan and also Roynell Young. There's Roynell Young, number 43, first-round draft pick.
Looked like he was
last
holding
year and stepped right in there. I think he was holding his shoulder.
On his right shoulder, he's got that arm kind of just hanging down there too. Maybe he fell on it a little bit.
Second down 10. We see Ken Clark in the lineup now for Philadelphia. With a fresh pass rusher. Tony Nathan in trouble. Ken Clark, the man just inserted in the lineup defensively for Philadelphia, was there to make the stop after Reggie Wilkes just missed on the blitz.
Looks like someone must have missed an assignment there, because he sure did break through in a hurry, didn't he? Let's see if we can see it. Right, that's Clark right over the center. He came through in a hurry, but no one blocked number 51. Is that Reggie Wilkes? He has been playing a good job with the linebacker. His name keeps coming up all night. Clark was the guy that made the tackle. Wilkes is the guy that threw him off stride.
Loss of 6. Third down 16. Tough spot for Don Strock. We'll watch it again from the end zone.
A good position to watch the linebackers drop. See what that quarterback looks at. Good pressure.
Goes down. Dennis Harrison, but he had help from his friends.
That quieted him down, didn't it?
It certainly did, and you've got to expect a lot of that when Strock is in there.
Fourth down Miami. They trot out Tom Oros once again. And Wally Henry will drop for Philadelphia, and Philadelphia should again have good field position. Henry standing on his own 30-yard line. We're in the fourth quarter. Philadelphia over the Dolphins. A hard-hitting football game. Eagles leading 10-3.
Not a good punt.
Low kick. Flag is down. And Henry steps out of bounds at the 41. But that flag is usually representative of a penalty against the return team.
I believe there was a clip or an illegal hit above the waist from the back by number 27. We shall see.
Holding against Philadelphia. That'll back them up. This has been somewhat of a penalty-free game compared to the games we've been watching over the season. They went the entire first half without a flag. Here's our call.
Holding during the run back. Number 27 of the receivers. It'll be 1st and 10.
That's who it was.
Richard Blackmore.
What an eye you have.
Well,
How did you pick that up?
it was easy.
I guess it's your legal background. You know what's legal and what's not legal.
It was
and you
easy.
said it was easy. To Mr. Clark.
Ken Clark made a big play a short while ago. And now Philadelphia. They've been stymied here in the second half. They have the ball inside the 32-yard line. 9:48 remaining in the game. One of the rare times we've seen the Eagles in the eye tonight. They like to run Montgomery from the eye, and that shows you why. Montgomery colliding finally with Bob Brzezinski and A.J. Dewey, but not until he had picked up 7 yards.
Pretty good
When
on
he
the
takes that deep spot in the eye, Wilbert Montgomery is really dangerous.
Well, he's had 3 consecutive 100-yard rushing games. That one was helped along by a good block by Oliver, who was blocking on Brzezinski. He hit Brzezinski right at the line of scrimmage, and Brzezinski didn't bring him down until he had picked up about 7 or 8 yards.
Second down, long 3. Ball inside the 39-yard line of Philadelphia. Montgomery once again. Montgomery trying to spin out of the arms of the Dolphin tackler. He does not do so. It'll be 3rd down and 1.
Oliver seems to be limping off. He got tied up with one of the defensive secondary men. Hopped off on a sore ankle, it looks like.
Well, I'll tell you, Philadelphia can ill afford to lose another running back.
Oh, they really can't.
I itemized some of the ones that they had lost, and now Hubert Oliver is being helped off the field. I went down the list earlier. They lost Perry Harrington. They lost Leroy Harris. Giamono was lost in the Dallas game. Atkins they acquired from Green Bay. He has a hamstring pull. He can't go. We'll get a measurement. I don't quite understand why.
Something to do.
Almost a yard.
The big loss, of course, Harris, who proved himself a big play man, a fine blocker, surprising receiver in those big plays, and give him a short yardage situation as you look at the 3rd down conversion picture. He can bust it for you.
Clock starts again. 8.5 minutes remaining in the game. Booker Russell, 32, replaces Hubert Oliver. Russell started with Oakland a couple of years ago. San Diego last year, had a weight problem. Now he's slimmed down somewhat. 4th-year man out of Southwest Texas State. He's in there and gets the call. He will not get the first down. Surging Miami defense led by Bob Baumauer. And we talked about his great year. What a play that was.
He met him basically, as you say, head on. Baumauer, I believe Betters was in there too. Booker gets a pretty good running start. But then he hit him high and low. That's the 2 guys you called out, Baumauer and Betters.
Has this man been steady since he came up with A.J. Dewey in '77? Bob Baumauer brings up the 4th down. Running her out. This is Tom Vigorito at his 15-yard line. Low kick by Runninger. Vigorito fields it beautifully.
Good move by Vigorito.
That is dangerous, but at this point in the game, a good time to make the move. And Vigorito gets it to the 38-yard line. Miami's in good field position. And back comes Don Strock. And we'll be back. Back in the Orange Bowl of Miami, Frank Gifford along with Don Meredith, our barrister, Howard Cosell. Important game, both ball clubs.
Last 2 times Figueredo has received the punt. He's shown guts, instinct, immediacy of reflexes. Good run backs.
The ball just inside Miami's 39-yard line following that chancy return by Figueredo. Drop, fires, and complete to midfield.
And they're going to pick up another 15.
Late hit. Darial Harris was the receiver.
Carl Hairston's the guy I believe they're going to call. They got struck. And there it goes.
A late blow on Don Strock, who offers a rather large target at 6'5" and 220 pounds.
Take a look. Harrison 78's coming in. It was not what he did there. It was what he did after we left him. He threw him down rather handily.
Not to mention severely. Well, Miami has a first down, 35-yard line of Philadelphia, 7:10 on the clock. And the Eagles on top, 7-3. Flags are down. You saw the movement. Strock has a free play. And no penalty flag. The defensive effort of Roynell Young against Darial Harris. But there is a flag at the line of scrimmage. I think you saw the movement.
Looked like the Eagles. Didn't look like they were drawn. That's it. Suddenly, a Vermeil team is making the big mistakes.
They'll mark off 5. The down will remain the same. It'll be first down at 5. The ball up the 30-yard line.
Don't often see this, Giff.
Offside, number 65 on the defense, still first down.
Charlie Johnson detected with first movement. Vermeil is saying they were drawn off. Picture of concentration.
Who's the little fat guy chasing Vermeil?
He has the leash.
I don't know.
Stop. Up and down. Darial Harris, another first down. Darial Harris putting on a show tonight, and without the help of Nat Moore, who makes it so much easier for Darial Harris because Moore offers that deep threat. Moore again.
Strock
Out with a sore knee.
Strock getting the hot hand, Frank, in the wake of those 2 penalties against the Eagles. Both critical mistakes.
They marked it inside the 23. Vermeil now thoroughly exercised on the sideline.
Losing a little composure. That's not a good sign.
Up the middle booms Eddie Hill. Eddie Hill inside the 20-yard line. Give him 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. LeMaster on the stop.
Felt he should have had more, as you could see.
Bigger hole up there, I think, than a 3-yard hole. They had pretty good blocking in the middle of that line.
Again, this game really vital to both ball clubs. On the schedule remaining for Philadelphia after tonight. Next Sunday at Washington. Then Dallas. And Dallas has already beaten them once, remember, this season. Then they close at home with the St. Louis Cardinals. They need this game. 2nd down, 7. Tony Nathan. Nathan driving. Trying to carry tacklers forward, but he is stopped after a gain of a yard and a half by Al Chesley and Frank LeMaster. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Those are the standings we were referring to a little earlier, the AFC East. Miami, as you can see, now they have lost to the Jets. And the key item is that the tiebreaker, the first tiebreaker, is head-to-head competition. And Miami has lost to the Jets last week.
The other key item is the remainder of the schedule. Miami must play, among others, Kansas City and Buffalo. Not too easy.
3rd down, 4. Strock almost picked off. It was intended for Joe Rose, and Bernard Wilson was there. 4th down, 4.
Pretty hard to think about a field goal in this situation when you're 7 points behind. I found that call a little unusual in that there was a long 3, almost a 4-yard. You might think that they were trying to pick it up in 2 carries rather than that little short pass there. He's got to make it now, or they're going to come away empty-handed. They've had a pretty good drive put together.
Shula's disdaining the field goal.
Ron Schaman stays on the bench. 4th down, 4.
I think that's a good call.
Darial Harris goes right. Cephalo's left. Nathan single setback. Rose in the slot.
He better hit somebody quickly.
Here comes everybody. Darial Harris. Touchdown. Flag is down.
On Philadelphia, though.
The indication is defensive holding against Philadelphia. We're heading for a tied ball game with 5:21 remaining.
Look at those fans.
They finally got Royale.
Philadelphia brought everyone but Dick Vermeil. That left Roydell Young in a man-for-man situation. Darial Harris and Don Strock were up to it.
Darial Harris seems to have hurt a little ankle somewhere along the way. You'll see he turned Young around a little bit. When Young tried to grab his footing, he slipped and fell. And if Harris hurts it, he did. Harris hurt his ankle or his knee trying to spike that ball. And he is down on the field.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, I tell you, I see him do it. It's one that don't do it more often. He did a lot of moves in there. He jumped and came down crooked on his either knee or an ankle. I believe it's a knee they're attending to right now.
It's a pity. He's had a tremendous evening, as Frank has indicated.
Oh, he's had just a marvelous year, and I can't hardly believe he did it on the spike, but it sure looks like he did.
Pretty good little pickup block there in the backfield. He had Royale Young turned a little bit. Royale tries to do it. Little hot dog in here. Came down wrong on that left knee.
He just hyperextended that.
That's got to hurt.
Harris, 114 yards on 9 receptions tonight. And I'll tell you, that is painful to watch.
So unfortunate because he exposed himself.
How
to
about
injury.
unnecessary?
Yeah, but you see him get hit so many times by defensive backs, and you wonder how they get up. They all alone in the end zone and jump up. And that could be the kind of injury that's a freak injury, could put him out.
He won't be hot dogging again in a hurry.
Ron Schaman. It's almost become traditional with receivers, running backs, showboating, some people call it. But it's really become kind of part of the game, I guess. Just to tie it up. And we are tied at 10 with 5:21 remaining. We'll be back in the Orange Bowl. Charged up. Back in the Orange Bowl. And Miami has drawn even. The first time tonight as the Eagles took the opening kickoff, went 80 yards at the beginning of the game, and now Miami has drawn even. Don Strock to Darial Harris. Darial Harris injured on the play. Ron Schaman roots it deep into the end zone. Wally Henry just says, forget it. Darial Harris, if you saw the replay, you saw the knee looked as though it was hyperextended. We'll try and get a further report. I want to remind you, tonight, Nightline, we will have the National Security Advisor Richard Allen on a special expanded edition of Nightline. So be with us later this evening. Philadelphia, they're a disciplined ball club. The wheels will not come off. They have struggled offensively, and on the drive with Don Strock, 2 key penalties hurt them severely. First down and 10. Eagles ball at their 20-yard line. Jaworski, the ball batted away.
Doug Betters, A.J. Dewey, and Vern Den Herder all around them. Baumhauer behind them. Miami fired up now.
I would suggest they try to do something that will move the ball a little bit at a time. They take big chances and they wind up not making any yardage here. Miami is going to have fairly good field position. Go back to something fairly conservative, little quick screens.
2nd down and 10. Jaworski says, I can't hear my players cannot hear the calls, and that will not help.
Big mistake. He's now let the fans know that I pay attention to you.
There at the closed end of the Orange Bowl, where the sound just reverberates. They'll try again.
Meanwhile, Jaworski only has 91 yards total in passing tonight.
Bitterly fought game.
Very limited figure for run. 40 yards the first half, 51 the second.
2nd down, 10. Draw play. Booker Russell. He ekes out a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 8.
Another argument. Can you lip read? That's John Sandusky, the other man in there with Shula.
The word on Darial Harris, twisted knee. Spiking the football in the end zone. 3rd down and 8. Out of the shotgun. Difficult for the offensive line to hear the signals of Jaworski, particularly when he's from that shotgun. Can understand the enthusiasm of the crowd, but all it does is slow down the game. 4:21 remaining.
Plenty of time. If Miami can get decent field position, which they figure to, Von Sharman has an excellent foot. Plenty of time.
We told you about the remaining games for the Eagles. Howard mentioned, alluded to the fact that the Dolphins must play Kansas City and Buffalo. They actually will play New England here next Sunday first. This will be a finger snap on the part of Jaworski. No, he says, I will not go. Shula is really upset.
He appears on the verge of apoplexy.
I can't imagine what he's upset about. What do you think?
Now he's called A.J. Dewey over to the sidelines. He was over there with Kozlowski. Well, it will really get noisy this time. It's 3rd down and 8. Shula, we are told, is upset that the 30-second clock has not started for the Eagles, which indeed it has not. Well, if you can read lips, you can see the official saying, I know.
There's Vermeil with his little round friend.
He can't be too pleased right now either. This thing's turned against him. They're rising up here in Miami.
Well, it will only be louder on this huddle break.
Does make it a little more difficult from his shotgun position.
Well, I think Jaworski has exhausted the crowd. They do appear to have quieted him somewhat.
What the hell is
I can read that lip.
Oh, boy. And the sweat now pouring off the face and chin.
Now that Miami players are trying to quiet the crowd. I guess if it were to continue, the crowd could be penalized.
Well, that's probably
They would
true.
penalize Miami for a delay of game. The Dolphin players are trying to quiet the crowd.
Got some good news out of Dallas today. My buddy Ermal Allen, good friend and a very integral integral part of the Dallas Cowboy organization. Had a heart attack. He's out of intensive care, back in a private room. Spoke with his wife, Allie, today. He's doing fine. That's good news.
That's great.
Yeah, Irmo's a nice man. Bear Bright paid him tribute, too, for a lot of his success. He's with Bear, Kentucky.
Crowd is quieted somewhat. 3rd down and 8. We'll remind you. Now, I do believe Jaworski could have got that play off.
He certainly could have.
Well, somebody sees a little humor in it.
I think I had the distinction of playing in the longest delayed game because of fan reaction. We played in New Orleans one time, and I believe it was somewhere in the area of 18 minutes. And finally I went over and just talked to the sideline with John Meekum for a while. I said, can you do anything about this? He said, no, I don't think so.
Well, under the rules, there's no penalty call they can make.
Again, 3rd down and 8. Well, what do you know? Picked off. Lyle Blackwood. He is ruled down at the 33-yard line. But Blackwood, key interception, stepping right in front of the receiver. They'll mark it at the 33-yard line, already within range of Von Schaman with 4:12 remaining in the game.
Well, they were getting a little befuddled all along. Took a couple of steps. The ball didn't have a real zip on it. You see, it doesn't have that real good tight spin.
I think Jaworski killed himself.
Well, Darial Harris, who was injured, is out of the game, but Nat Moore makes his first appearance tonight at wide receiver, joining Jimmy Cephalo. Nat Moore, number 89, has a very sore knee. He injured it 6 weeks ago. He's missed 3 of the last 5 games. Up the middle booms Andre Franklin.
Just what they want to do as we get inside the 4-minute mark.
3-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
Dick saying, wait a minute, the wheels are coming off here. Let's hold this thing together. Uwe.
Franklin out. Eddie Hill in. Uwe Von Schaman living the lonely life of the kicker. Eddie Hill. Eddie Hill struggles forward for a couple. It'll be 3rd down and 4.
All perfectly positioned in terms of a field goal attempt.
In comes the passing unit for Miami. That means Tommy Vigorito and the tight end, number 80, Joe Rose. And now, the Eagles defensive unit under the direction of Marion Campbell. They change their personnel, bring their 5th defensive back in. That is John Chara.
Bet you they throw a safe pattern.
They've got to.
3rd down and 4.
They may have already,
Quarterback draw. Strock short of the 1st down. It'll be 4th.
He's just barely short, Frank. And if that, I think he is. Depends on where they mark it, but I'm pretty close.
No flag on the play. For a moment, it looked like an Eagle offside, you know, Gun?
It did. The Eagles have been a little jumpy since Strock came in.
Strock now is saying he's got the 1st down. It does, however, look like it might be inches short. Decision time. The field goal attempt would be about 41 yards.
I think you go ahead and go for it.
2:37 left.
Short yardage offense comes onto the field on 4th down.
This is not an automatic out there. You're going to be kicking from the 40 yards. Doesn't speak a whole lot for your confidence in your kicker.
Yeah, but he remembers how He blew a 27-14 lead to Dallas and wound up with a pass, intercept, and they never had the field goal attempt that could have won for them.
One thing you can be bet on, it'll be a long count. Trying to draw the Eagles offside.
Didn't look too good when he had to tell Nathan to play. He didn't make it.
Flag is down.
I don't think he made it.
Will depend on that flag.
Flag is down at the line of scrimmage.
That's lack of concentration.
Dolphin players are saying it is against Philadelphia. The long count, pulling Philadelphia offside.
I think they lined up.
They could well have
lined
been.
up offside.
They had everyone up there, and somebody might have had a head over the ball.
But Frank, that's one of the, they got the two guys lined up offside on the left side. Something, I don't know who that number that is.
Encroachment.
Third from
Number
the top
51
of
on
your
the
screen.
defense. First down.
Reggie Wilkes, they say,
Well,
was offside.
I think both of them are. There's a guy right next to Reggie's also offside. And they just lined up that way.
Penalties have killed the Eagles.
How would you like to tell that man it's only a game? 2:12 remaining in the game. First and 10, Miami has the football. We're tied at 10. Andre Franklin back inside and runs right into big Carl Hairston. Gets a yard. It's 2nd and 9.
Very tentative running here as we approach the 2-minute warning.
And there it is. And Don Strock will move over to the sidelines. He'll talk it over with Don Shula as they move ever closer to the range of Von Schaman.
Used to be when I had a job to do around the house, it was one-on-one. Me against the house.
2 minutes remain in the game. The Dolphins and the Eagles are tied at 10. Miami has a 2nd down. Call it 9. Ball at the 60 inside the 17-yard line. Don Strock comes back from his visit with Don Shula. And the importance of this game. Philadelphia, with a win tonight, could actually clinch a playoff spot. And, of course, they're battling for a division title with Dallas. Dallas has a 10-3 record. Philadelphia, at the moment, 9-3. 2 timeouts remain for Philadelphia, while Miami has 3. Tony Nathan. Nathan struggles inside the 10-yard line.
.154 left, clock stop.
I would think that one of the major things right now Philadelphia is thinking is they must hold them to a field goal, because with Franklin's potential range, you see Hubert Montgomery over there, I would say that he thinks that he has the opportunity to get Franklin in a field goal range much easier. They can't let him get a touchdown here.
And along those same lines, for Miami, they really need the first down here to use up more of that clock, which now indicates, as you can see, 1:54. 3rd down, it's a long one. This is Tony Nathan on the reverse, and he slips and falls, but the man who helped make it happen was number 68, Dennis Harrison, who turned Nathan back to the inside, far short of the first down, and out comes Von Schaman.
Very strange call. Razzle-dazzle is usually not on 3rd and 1. Had some guys to the outside. He couldn't. Good play. Harrison just came in there and knocked them off. Dennis Harrison went through the blockers, turned Nathan back in.
That play only works if you can get outside, and Dennis Harrison was there. There is Von Schaman with Don Strock holding. Bob Kuchenberg is snapping.
1:10 and counting.
All at a 28-yard attempt. Miami, the lead the first time tonight with 1:04 on the clock. The Eagles have 2 timeouts remaining. Remember, they used one earlier. We'll be back in an electrified Orange Bowl right after this. My mother couldn't love a field goal kicker more than his teammates when he's good like this.
And he is good. Strock knew it, didn't he? And so did Uve.
He's part of the bunch.
It was right through the middle.
Ron Chalman will kick off with 1:04 remaining. And remember the timeout the Eagles took at 1:01 of the third quarter on a 4th down decision. Therefore, they have 2 timeouts remaining. Wally Henry is deep for Philadelphia. Ron Chalman charged up.
No.
Henry will bring it out. Ball is loose. Miami has it.
Turn out the lights, the party's over. Yeah, they say that all the good things must end. I call it a night. Bad mistake in trying to run that one out to begin with.
Joe Rose came down with the football. Wally Henry had it explode out of his hands. And give this young Miami Dolphin team the credit. They looked as though they were going to be run out of the ballpark in the opening minutes of the game. They have battled, they have fought, they overcame a fumble on a 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line. And they have found themselves in this position.
A good 6 or 7 yards in the end zone. And right there, gosh, I couldn't see who that was.
Steve Potter.
Steve Potter knocked it loose. Ball was bouncing around for a while. Reached up, it fell. Things are bouncing right tonight for the Miami Dolphins.
The Eagles can stop the clock twice. 58 seconds remain.
In all the time I have watched the Eagles under Dick Vermeil, I have never seen them come apart in this fashion. Penalties, turnover.
Not so much they've came apart. Give credit to the Miami team. They have played superb football tonight.
They deserve credit with the late rush, but every key to this game was created by Philadelphia mistakes, especially the penalties.
1 timeout remaining for Philadelphia. And Ron Jaworski knows it'll be a rough road to hoe as far as the divisional title down the line is concerned. The Eagles will be at Washington next Sunday. Then they will be in Dallas. And they close at home with a hard-charging St. Louis Cardinal team.
As the NFC playoff picture. San Francisco and Dallas in. And after that, with Philadelphia losing this game, a mess. Philadelphia still looking safe, but they've got work to do. And even Green Bay and the Giants still having a chance. And St. Louis.
I think this defeat really would have hurt Miami much more than it will hurt Philadelphia. And I guess that's quite obvious. Philadelphia's won more ball games, but Miami's really in the thick of it. They've got the tie, and they've got the Jets sitting kind of in a catbird seat right now.
And for the Dolphins, New England will be here Sunday. Then it's Kansas City. At Kansas City, and they close at home against Buffalo. Not easy for them either. Final timeout for Philadelphia. I'd like to thank our spotter, Steve Bazika, our stat and research man, Jerry Klein. Hard-hitting football game. We hope you've enjoyed it. We'll be in Houston for Houston and Cleveland on Thursday night, and then next Monday night we'll have Oakland and Pittsburgh. This ABC Sports exclusive has been brought to you by the Buick Motor Division and your Buick dealer, who proudly announced the 1982 Buicks, and by Light Beer, everything you've always wanted in a beer and less. 49 seconds remain.
Well, I tell you, this is a good one, so I want everybody to listen real close like this telecast is presented by the authority of the National Football League. It's intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast, other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the National Football League and possibly Don Shula. It's prohibited. I said possibly. You don't really have to check your Shula.
Don Shula,
No.
still affected by this game, now in his 19th year as head coach. 3rd down, 13. Stock. He'll stay on his feet, running as many seconds out as he can. The whistle does not blow unless he's touched. For the Miami's defensive unit, they allowed Jaworski only 91 yards by the pass. They held Wilbert Montgomery, who's over 1,000 yards on the season, to 55 yards rushing. Seconds ticking off. Again, Philadelphia cannot stop the clock. It'll be 4th down.
But the 30-second clock is down to 14-13. They're going to have to run this play. They'll wait.
They'll run this one out. Clock will stop on change of possession if they cannot expire all the time. They will. There it is. The youth and the veteran. There'll be many great days for Dick Vermeil. There have been many great days for Don Shula. Once again, the final score, 13-10. Miami, the winner over Philadelphia. Remember, stay tuned for ABC News Nightline, 30 minutes after the game, 11:30 on the West Coast, over most of these ABC stations. Our blimp provided by the Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company. Travel arrangements made through and a promotional fee paid by United Airlines. United flies more people to Hawaii than any other airline. That's what friendly skies.